Hello everyone, welcome to What If Deku Had Powers of Magolor Kirby Part 1. Before we start, please go support Mhan1NT3ND0 fan for writing that awesome fanfic. This an Izuku Yagi story where Izuku has Magolor's powers, meeting new friends. Izuku Yagi was quirkless, and because of that, he was treated like trash by everyone. Even his own friends from Class 1A, including his twin sister Izumi. He was neglected by his parents, who he found out were heroes after his father Toshinori Yagi aka Almight crushed his dreams. Later that same day, he got captured by a sludge villain and was on the verge of death until he was saved by a pink-haired boy named Kirby. Afterwards, Kirby took Izuku to the halberd after hearing his story and introduced all the star allies to him: Bandana D, DDD, Meta Knight, Rick, Kine, Ku, Marks, Gui, Adeline, Ribbon, Deroche, DMK, Taranza, Sectonia, yeah that's right. She's not dead, Susie, Francisca, Flamberge, and Zahn Partizan. After Izuku told them his backstory, they decided to let him stay, to which Izuku was thrilled. After thanking everyone, the star allies got a distress call from outer space, to which everyone decided to get going and took flight. During then, two figures were watching this happen and were happy that Izuku was going with them. The reason? It will be revealed soon. Chatting with the star allies. As the star allies and their new friends leave Earth's atmosphere, Izuku decides to talk to his new friends. Izuku, so Bandana D? Bandy please. Call me Bandy. Izuku, okay. Bandy? What's your quirk? Izuku then pulls out a notebook out of nowhere. Bandy, where did he get that notebook fro? Actually, it might be best not to ask. Oh, my quirk? Same as yours. Izuku, but I'm quirkless, remember? Bandy, yeah? I'm aware. I'm also quirkless. But that doesn't mean I can't help. So I would always train with a spear so that I wouldn't be a liability in battle. Just because you have no quirk doesn't mean you're worthless. That last sentence made Izuku really happy. Izuku, thank you for letting me know. Izuku then walks over to the next person. Izuku, hey DDD? DDD, what's up? Izuku, what's your quirk? DDD, oh. Nothing much. I can only shoot some lightning out of my hands. But I don't really use it much. I usually use my hammer to pound my enemies to a pulp, like I plan on doing to those so-called friends of yours. Izuku, wow. So cool. Why don't you use it? DDD, it takes a lot of focus to use it, and can leave me wide open to attack. So I always fight quirkless. Izuku, I see. Maybe I can find a way around that drawback. DDD, I appreciate the thought. Go for it, kiddo. After that, Izuku went to Meta Knight. Izuku, hey Meta Knight? Meta Knight, what is it, young Izuku? Izuku, can I have your autograph? Meta Knight, why do you wish for my autograph? Izuku, well, you've always been one of my favorite heroes. At least, until today when you became my favorite. So I just really want the autograph of the number 2 hero. Meta Knight, very well. But I want you to know that I don't do any hero work because it will get me fame and fortune. I just wish to use the skills I trained for, so I can help others. Izuku, that's the main reason why you're my favorite hero. Thank you. After getting Meta Knight's autograph, Izuku went to talk to more people when Rico. Izuku, come here and talk with us, mate. Izuku coming. Izuku then went over to the 3 and talked with them. Izuku, so, what are your quirks? Rick, well mate, our quirks are that of animals that are mutant-like. I have the abilities of a hamster that can actually turn into stone and even spew out fire. Kine, I have the abilities of a fish that can also freeze the water around me as long as I'm in the water. But if I use it too long, I'll turn myself into a literal ice cube. Ku, and I have the abilities of a bird that can shoot out sharp feathers. We always work as a team because we find that working together is better. Izuku, amazing. Hey, if you don't mind, I want to talk with everyone else if that's okay. Rick, no worries, mate. It was nice chatting with you. Talk to you soon. Afterwards, Izuku went to chat with more people. Izuku, hey Marks? Marks, yo man, what's up? Izuku, can you tell me about your quirk? Marks, oh I'd love to. I call it Chaotic Jester. With it, I can shoot exploding balls and even spit them out. Wait. No, not like that. Don't you dare comment what I just said, you. Izuku, Marks? Who are you talking to? Marks, you know what? Never mind. Let me just continue explaining. Ahem, I can also grow these colorful wings, I can shoot cutters from my body, I can shoot seeds that grow into painfully sharp plants in an instant, shoot out electric arrows, turn my body into paint and shoot myself, at my opponents, And my favorite, I can split myself in half and make a mini black hole for about 5 seconds. Izuku, wow! That's amazing, Marks, I know, right? Izuku, thanks for sharing with me, Marks. I'm gonna go talk with the others now. After that, Izuku went to find the remaining people and found Izuku. Hey Gui, Izuku, Gui? Did I do something wrong? Gui, what time is it? Is it time for fishing? Izuku, what? And then Gui just walked away looking for fish. Izuku, okay, that was weird. Adeline, hey Izuku, Ribbon, want to have a chat? Izuku, why yeah. Sure, Adeline, we saw you talking to Gui. Don't worry about him. He's, okay, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, he's the dumbest of us all. Ribbon, but he's still a great friend and we wouldn't have it any other way. Izuku, good to know. I thought I did something wrong. Adeline, nah. That's just Gui being Gui. Izuku, hey Adeline. What's your quirk? I can already guess, Ribbons, but yours? Adeline, my quirk allows me to make the things I paint come to life. Izuku, wow. That's incredible. Thanks for letting me know. Hey, I'm gonna go chat with the others for a while, okay? Adeline and Ribbon, go right ahead. After that, Izuku went off to talk to the others. Izuku, hey Deroche? What's your quirk? Deroche, oh, my quirk? It's nothing special. I can only teleport about 2 to 3 centimeters at a time. I've tried to increase the distance but nothing works. Luckily, I have a vast majority of weapons at my disposal, so I'm prepared for anything. Izuku, interesting. Thanks for letting me know, Deroche. After that, Izuku went to talk to more people. Izuku, hey DMK? What's your quirk? DMK, my quirk? Well, I can create massive swords out of the ground, make duplicates of myself. I have bat wings like Meta Knight, and I can reflect projectiles. Izuku, so cool. You can do a lot of good with those powers. DMK, thanks Izuku. And so Izuku went to talk to the rest. Izuku, hey Taranza? Sectonia. Taranza, yes? Sectonia, what is it, Izuku? Izuku, I want to ask, what are your quirks? Taranza, oh, we actually have the same quirks. We have the abilities of spiders, Sectonia, and are also able to use electrokinesics with our webs. Izuku, that's awesome. Does this mean you can also stick to walls like Spider-Man? Taranza, Never tried it. Sectonia, Taranza, sweetie, maybe when this quest is finished, we can give it a shot. Taranza, sounds lovely to me, dear. Izuku then left to talk with the rest of the gang and was met with Flamberge, hey Greenie. Izuku, oh. Hi F. Francisca, Flamberge, and Zan P. Partisan. Zan Partisan, there is no need to be afraid. We just wanted to see if you wanted to talk to us. Izuku, it's not that I'm afraid. I just get really nervous when talking to girls. Especially those who don't make my life hell. Francisca, I understand. It must have been hard on you. Izuku, it was. Hey W, what are your quirks? Francisca, my quirk is cryokinesis. Flamberge, I have pyrokinesis. Zan Partisan, and I was given electrokinesis. Izuku, wow. If you three work together, then mutter. Zan Partisan, Izuku. Izuku, oh sorry. I have a habit of doing that. Susie, well I think it's alright. Izuku, oh. Susie, we all have something weird about ourselves, so there is no worries about your mumbling. Izuku, thank you. By the way, what's your quirk? Susie, like you and Bandy, I'm quirkless. But I'm very good at inventing things. And I use my inventions to take care of evil. Izuku, WL. You guys are all amazing. Susie, thanks. Kirby, hey Izuku. Izuku, what is it, Kirby? Kirby, look. We've arrived at where the distress signal was located. As Izuku looked out the window, he saw. Izuku, is that another ship? Kirby, looks like it. And that's where we're headed. Izuku, I want to come too. Kirby, any extra help is welcome, so let's go. New powers. As we last left off on our story, the Star Allies and their new friend, Izuku arrived at a ship that has been sending the distress signal. But when the gang went inside, Kirby, no one's here. Susie, strange. If no one is here, how could he have gotten the distress signal? Meta Knight, maybe we should look around and check to see if there really is no one here. Izuku, I agree with Meta Knight. We have to be certain that no one's here. And so everyone went searching for anyone who could be inhabiting the ship. It was clear that the main lobby had no people there. But there were 3 other areas. Meta Knight, DDD, Bandy, Rick, Kine, and Ku checked the area on the left to find Rick. Wow. I wasn't expecting a bunch of parts of this ship meant to give copy abilities. Cool, we'd better check each room. Kine, I'll stand by and check to see if we miss something in this area. Meanwhile, on the left side area with Marks, Gui, Adeline, Ribbon, Deroche, and DMK. DMK, look at all the different rooms in this area alone. Deroche, I wonder if there is any treasure located in these rooms. Marks, good grief, Deroche. Can't you go 10 minutes without thinking of stealing treasure? Deroche, I think you know the answer to that. Marks groaned. Adeline, guys? I don't think there is anyone in these rooms. Marks, what makes you say that? Ribbon, because none of these doors open for us, but I'm pretty sure they will only open for Kirby. All, she has a point. Meanwhile, at the bottom of the ship with Taranza, Sectonia, Susie, Francisca, Flamberge, and Zon Partizan. Francisca, please? I want to play some of these games. Zon Partizan, no. We have to find who sent us the distress signal. Francisca would then pout because she really wanted to play the games that the ship for some reason had. Sectonia, whoever built this ship must have been a huge fan of amusement park attractions. Susie, wait. I just realized. Taranza, realized what? Susie, this ship is the Lore Star Cutter. A ship built by the ancients long before we were born. It's said that the ship has a kind of its own. Maybe that's what caused the distress signal. Flamberge, but why would it do that? Taranza, we better. Sectonia, maybe it was because of Izuku. Everyone else, what? Sectonia, well, think about it. We only got that distress signal after we took him in. Maybe the lore was searching for him and needed us to deliver him. Zon Partizan, but why would it want Izuku? Meanwhile, in the main lobby with Izuku and Kirby. Kirby, stop saying you're worthless. I have met a lot of people who helped out despite not having any powers. Izuku, but Kirby, no buts. You are strong. Those scars on you are a reminder of how much you survived. I mean, look at DMK. He has a lot of scars. And he uses them as a reminder on how he got to where he is now. You should feel the same way. Izuku, sniff, thanks Kirby. Kirby, no problem. I just want my friends to be happy. Izuku. Over here. Izuku, huh? Kirby, what's wrong? Izuku, I heard a voice. Kirby, I didn't hear any. Izuku, Kirby? Kirby, Izuku. Look at the control panel. Izuku looked to the control panel and found it glowing. Place your hand on the control panel. Izuku, there's that voice again. Kirby, what's it saying? Izuku, first me to put my hand on the control panel. Kirby, well, there's nothing else we can do. I say do it. Izuku, alright then. Izuku then placed his hand on the control panel as the light began to grow until it completely engulfed Izuku. Kirby, Izuku. The remaining Star Allies heard Kirby and rushed over to him. Star Allies, Kirby, what's going on, Kirby? Kirby then explained what happened. Sectonia, so I was right. The lore was looking for Izuku. Meta Knight, unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about this situation. We will have to wait to see how this plays out. With Izuku. Izuku, where am I? Greetings, Izuku. Izuku, AAH. Who said that? Where am I? Calm down, Izuku. You are only in your mindscape. I am the Lore Star Cutter. Izuku, you mean the ancient ship that can easily travel to other dimensions? Lore, precisely. I have been waiting for you for 14 years. Izuku, but why did you want to meet a quirkless nobody like me? Lore, quirkless, yes. Powerless, no. And you are definitely not a nobody. You have powers of your own that have been locked away for safety purposes. Izuku, wait, what? Lore, yes. You may not have a quirk, but you have something far better than that pathetic one for all. Izuku, one for all? Lore, allow me to explain. So the lore explained everything about one for all. Izuku, that bastard. He lied to me. He lied to the world. Lore, yes. But you are far more powerful than quirks themselves. But your powers had to be locked away because it was too powerful for your body to contain. But now that you have touched the control panel, your powers are going to be unsealed and your body will be changed to handle the power. Do you accept this? Izuku was on the verge of tears. Not from sadness, but from joy. Izuku, sniff, yes. I accept this power. Lore, I was hoping you'd say that. And now, let's begin. Izuku was then bathed in a blinding light. Izuku was filled with more power than he could ever imagine. But he would not let his new powers change who he was on the inside. Back to the Star Allies. Kirby, hey look! The light is fading. Susie, oh thank goodness. We will be able to see Izuku again and what the dash? As the light faded, they saw that Izuku looked completely different. Izuku, hey guys. Everyone was stunned by Izuku's new change. Although Flamberge was angry because it was so confusing for her. So she figured she would do what Francisca told her to do when she was about to burst, yoga. But, Flamberge, now I need to do yoga. Where are my yoga pants? Training. Izuku revealed to everyone about what happened in his mindscape. The Star Allies were furious at Almight, but happy for Izuku. Now that Izuku has finally awakened his powers, everyone except Izuku, Izuku, calm down. It's just the lore Starcutter, Susie, so the legends are true. The lore can talk, lore, indeed I can. And as I was saying, now that Izuku has finally awakened his powers, he will need help in training them. Susie, what kind of elemental powers does he have? Lore, Izuku can generate electric spheres, summon flames, create bombs, summon deadly needles, create a magic barrier, charge in a cloak of wind which he can make burst, temporarily vanish into another plane of existence, shoot a giant beam of energy, summon a black hole, levitate, and finally, summon a giant sword. The room went quiet before Izuku nearly fainted. Izuku, holy cow! I am able to do all that. Kirby, wow! You are going to be an incredible hero. Lore, indeed he will. But he first has to learn how to use his powers. Kirby, then we will all help him. Right, guys? Everyone, right. Izuku, thank you all for helping me with this. Kirby, no problem. This is going to be fun. Gooey, I like turtles. Everyone's sweat dropped at that comment. Francisca, I can't help him with attacking, but I can help him with learning how to levitate. Kain, I wish I could help out, but his powers are not similar to any of mine. Flamberge, don't worry, Kain. You're still useful. Anyways, I can help with your flames. Zon Partisan, I will help you with your electric attacks. DMK, I can't create deadly needles, but I think I can teach you a thing or two about summoning sharp objects. Adeline, I happen to know a thing about creating things. I can help you with creating bombs. Gooey bombs? You want it? It's yours, my friend. DDD, okay, seriously, Gooey. You need to read the room. Gooey, what's a read? DDD, sigh, never mind. Zon Partisan, my sisters and I know someone who can help with you creating a magic barrier. Just try not to take him too seriously, or laugh. Izuku, what does she mean by? Kirby, you'll understand soon. Susie, I can help you with your charging attack. My inventions are very useful for this situation. Deroche, vanishing into another plane of existence. Sounds pretty similar to teleportation to me. I can help with that. Marks, I can actually help out with both the giant beam of energy and the black hole. I'm totally prepared to help. Meta Knight, wielding a sword isn't as easy as it looks. So I will teach you the proper way to use a sword. Kirby, and I have experience with wielding swords that are about 50 times my size. You can count me in. Izuku, thank you everyone. Well, let's get to it. We have 10 months to prepare for UA, so let's get to it. Everyone, hi, Kirby. But not all of us are going to UA because some of us are already adults. Izuku, oh yeah. Sorry. After that, the Star Allies went back to the halberd along with the lore since Izuku is now the pilot of the ship. For the next 10 months, everyone trained together. Mostly with Izuku. Soon, they will have to do the entrance exam and they must be prepared. Time skip brought to you by Izuku playing with his hood and cloak. Month 1, levitation lessons were up first. Francisca always enjoyed levitating and was completely eager to teach Izuku these lessons. Izuku, why can't I do this? Francisca, tell me, what do you feel? Izuku, well, I guess I feel pretty angry about my past. Francisca, that's the problem. Izuku, huh? What do you mean? Francisca, the problem is that the hatred in you is keeping your soul heavy. There is a reason why Zanpar and I can levitate, but Flamberge can't. She is always angry at things and that puts weight on her soul. What you need to do is keep calm, and that will help lift your spirits and you up. That's the secret to those with the ability to levitate. Now, I'm not saying to just forgive your past. That would be like giving them a medal for putting you through all that torture. They wouldn't learn anything from it. But you can give them a second chance, and see if they can own up to their mistakes. That's the first step to levitation. Although, anger is acceptable. Even I get angry at things at times. But too much hatred in your heart will keep you from lifting off from the ground. Izuku, I understand. Alright. I'll try it. Izuku then focused on levitating while thinking of the happy moments he has had with his new friends. And then, Francisca, Izuku. You're doing it, Izuku. I am? I am. Woohoo! This is awesome. Then Izuku floated down to the ground from exhaustion. Izuku, ha ha, I'm back down on the ground already? Why am I so tired, Francisca? It's because it's your first time using levitation. The more you practice, the longer you'll stay in the air, until you can do it for as long as you want. Throughout that month, Izuku and Francisca trained with each other as Izuku got better and better at levitating. At the end of the month, Izuku could finally levitate for as long as he wanted. Izuku, thank you Francisca for helping me with this. Francisca, it was my pleasure. Take the day off. You've earned it. Zon Partisan, starting tomorrow, I will be teaching you how to use your magic spheres. Izuku then took the rest of the day off. Month 2, Zon Partisan was teaching Izuku how to fire his magic spheres. Zon Partisan, there is electricity deep inside of you. You just have to focus that electrical energy into the palm of your hands. Condense it into the shape of a sphere. That's all there is to it. Izuku, alright. I'll give it a shot. And so Izuku put in all his focus to create a magic sphere which he then shot. However, it vanished almost instantly. Izuku, well, that didn't go far. I'm guessing that I'm going to need a lot more training with this. Zon Partisan. Probably not, considering that I'm pretty sure this will be your weakest attack. It should only take about a week or two, so let's keep practicing. And so for the next week and a half, Izuku trained his magic sphere until he could shoot it far and could shoot up to 3 magic spheres in a row before recharging, or 2 at once if he charges it up. Zon Partisan, my time of training you is over. It is time for Flamberge to train you in mastering your flames. Flamberge, let's do this. And so for the remainder of the month, Izuku was taught by Flamberge. Flamberge, the secret to using flames is with either rage or determination. It's a burning fire that you can use to burn down anything in your path. But don't get rage confused with hatred. When it comes to hatred, your flames could get too strong for you to handle. So be careful. Izuku, alright. Let's give it a go. And so Izuku would focus his rage from his past into his hands. It took a while, but when he released it, the result was incredible. Izuku, wow. Now that's hot. Flamberge, boy, I'll say. Now let's keep practicing to shorten the amount of time it takes to unleash your flames. For the rest of the month, the two trained with Izuku's, what he likes to call, revolution flames. He can now charge it up with about 5 seconds. Flamberge, the month is over and my training has ended. You did good, not so greeny anymore. Izuku, thank you Flamberge. I really appreciate your help. By the way, why do you always seem rather angry around most people? Flamberge, let's just say you weren't the only one neglected. Izuku, oh sorry. Flamberge, it's okay. It's just that, seeing you go through what I went through, I just couldn't even try to be mad at someone who has suffered so much. Try not to fall into hatred like most of the Star Allies once did. We were almost lost. If it wasn't for Pinky, well, I don't want to think about it. Izuku, I understand. Thank you Flamberge. Flamberge, you're welcome. Now take a good rest. Because your training is only going to get harder from here. And so Izuku took the rest of the day off, and took a rest to get prepared for the next day. Month 3, it was Adeline's turn to teach. And creating things was her specialty. Adeline, if you can focus your thoughts into creating your magic bombs, you should be able to do it. Izuku, alright. Here goes nothing. It didn't take long before he was successful in creating a bomb. Izuku, yes. I did it. Adeline, great job Izuku. Izuku, I wonder if I can do more than just that with my bombs and mutter. Adeline, Izuku ga. Ah man. I did it again. Adeline, sigh, it's fine. Just try to keep your habits in control when in public. Although I must admit, it's absolutely adorable. Little blush. Izuku, right, sorry. Adeline, well Izuku, you seem to be good at creating things, but keep practicing. I feel that you may be right about there being much more to do with your bombs. And so for the rest of the month, Izuku trained to find new ways to use his magic bombs. By the time the month had ended, Izuku could summon 3 bombs at a time, or one huge bomb that let out a bunch of powerful explosions. Adeline, alright. The month is over. Take the rest of the day off. Tomorrow, we head to the Mage Sisters' home, the Jambandra base. Izuku, Jambandra base? Adeline, yes. There you will meet the one who taught those 3 everything they know. Good luck. Izuku, alright. And so once again, Izuku took the rest of the day off to get ready for the next day. Month 4. The Star Allies have traveled to the Jambandra base to visit the Master of the Mage Sisters. Izuku, wow. This is the Jambandra base? Everyone else, yup. Izuku, it's huge. Marks, that's what she said. That got him flambédi by Flamberge. Flamberge, never say that again, you clown. Kirby, anyways, we're here and you're about to meet the Master of Francisca, Flamberge, and Zan Partizan. Izuku, I can't wait. It took a while to get to where he was located, but eventually they got there and met up with, Oh, Francisca, Flamberge, Zan Par, and the rest of the Star Allies. It's been a while. Zan Partizan, Lord Highness. It's great to see you again, Highness. I feel the same way. Oh? Who is he? Points at Izuku. I've never met him before. Francisca, he is our newest member, Izuku. We came here to see if you could help him with some training. Highness, Izuku, you say? Any relation to those failures of parents Tashinori and Inko? Izuku was surprised. Izuku, how did you? Highness, oh ho ho. I didn't. You just confirmed it. But I did have my suspicions since an old friend of mine told me about the fact that you were neglected by those asswipes and how the people you knew found out about it. From what I can tell, your grandpa Torino gave that musclehead a good beating. Too bad that there wasn't much anyone could do about those brats though. The Dumb Hero Commission refuses to blacklist them from UA despite what they've done. Honestly, what has that world of yours come to? Izuku was surprised to hear all that. He certainly wasn't prepared for his ex-friends to be found out. Highness, but you're not here to talk about those wastes of space. You want to learn some magic. Izuku, yes. I wish to learn how to use my magic barrier. That's why we came to you, Highness, that's all. This is going to be easy, and so the training began. Highness, creating a magic barrier is actually really easy. All you have to do is focus on your magic while thinking about shielding yourself. Izuku, alright. Let's give it a try. And so Izuku put Highness instructions to use and, Izuku, I did it, Highness, great job Izuku. But that was the easy part. Izuku, what do you mean, Highness? It's easy to make a barrier. But we have to train your barriers so that they can stay up even after a large-scale attack. You know, like that idiotic Bombranian. Izuku, good point. By the way, I was told that I shouldn't take you too seriously, and I can see why they told me that. But they also said that I should refrain from laughing. But I don't understand why. Highness, you don't? Allow me to show you. Highness then took off his hood and, Izuku, oh God. Now I see why. That is one weird nose, Highness. I know you are trying not to laugh. And I appreciate it. But I also know that I have a really goofy face. I take no offense to it. Anyways, let's continue training. Throughout the remainder of the month, Izuku took attack from attack to strengthen his magic barrier, until it finally became indestructible. Highness, you did good Izuku. Izuku, thank you Highness. I couldn't have done it without you. Highness, I have a question for you Izuku. Izuku, what's up? Highness, do you plan to maybe change your name when in public? Izuku, change my name? Why, Highness? Well, if people find out that you share the same name and the same voice, some people might end up putting the pieces together that you're Izuku Yagi. Izuku, wow. You have a point. Well, what should I call myself? Highness, how about Magolor? Izuku, Magolor? Highness, yeah. Mago means magic. And lore is a ship's name for paradise. It's also the name of your ship. Izuku, Magolor, yeah. I like it. Much better than Deku. And so Izuku would be called Magolor when out in public. Month 5. It was time to learn his Deadly Needles spell with DMK as his trainer. DMK, the trick to shooting out sharp objects from the ground is hatred. Izuku, hatred? But, DMK, I'm not saying to let yourself be controlled by the hatred. I'm saying to let your hatred power you up so that you can release that hatred in the form of those deadly needles you have. Izuku, I see. Alright. I hope I can do this. Izuku would then think about the first year of his torture. The betrayal he received. The beatings. He stopped himself before he could delve into the deeper wounds, and released his hatred in the form of 2 sharp needles. Izuku, yes. I did it. DMK, well done Izuku. Now the training we are about to do will be your most important lesson. Controlling all the hatred you have so that nothing will cause you to act villainously. And that's what they did for the next month. When it was over, Izuku could only control most of his hatred. But it was enough hatred to master the double deadly needles. DMK, you still have some hatred left that will need to be controlled. But for now, it's good enough. Enjoy the rest of your day off. Because tomorrow, it will be time for your next lesson. And so Izuku took the rest of the day off to once again prepare for his next lessons. Month 6. It was time for Darocha's lessons on teleportation. Darocha, it's pretty simple really. Just focus on vanishing into another plane of existence, and that's all there is to it. We will do this for only half a month since we only have a certain amount of time to do this. For the next 15 days, Izuku would do this. It was surprisingly easy. Izuku also found out that he could still move, and could appear in a different place than when he vanished. He could only stay there for about 5 seconds at a time, but even 1 second would be enough. Now it was time for Susie's lessons. Susie, okay. Doing a surge attack is also very easy. All you have to do is visualize a sense of urgency while spinning around, and that's all there is to it. Izuku, alrighty then. Adeline, hey Izuku. Izuku, oh. Hey Adeline. What are you painting? Adeline, a big gooey statue. I've been having an artist's block and DDD and Meta Knight. Adeline. Look out. Adeline looked and saw that Meta Knight's sword was knocked out of his hand and was about to slice her in half. Izuku, Adeline. Izuku then activates his surge and saves Adeline, and is now holding her bridal style with her blushing like crazy. Izuku, are you okay? Adeline, why yeah. I am fine. Thanks Izuku. Why you can pin me down and now. Izuku then puts her down, and goes up to DDD and Meta Knight. Izuku, what the hell were you? DDD, he. We got you good. Izuku, what? Meta Knight, that sword was a fake. We wanted to see if this was what it took for you to save Adeline. Look, Meta Knight then picked up the sword that was about to slice Adeline down the middle, and folded it in half. Meta Knight, see? I would never risk harming my friends. Izuku, oh. Sorry for shouting at you. Meta Knight, Mexican music coming from who knows where it is to be expected. Izuku. I would have acted the same way if I was you. DDD. So no hard feelings. Izuku, thank you guys, but did Adeline know? DDD, no. I'm afraid that she is a terrible actress. Meta Knight, if we told her, she would have given it away on the spot. Izuku, I see. Adeline, he's not wrong. Susie, well now that you have learned your surge, let's practice some more to improve it. For the rest of the month, Izuku trained his Magolor surge to incredible power. He is now able to cancel the surge with a burst, and also is able to use it 3 times in a row while also being able to change directions. Susie, great job Izuku. Take the rest of the day off because the next 2 months are gonna be filled with pain. Izuku, oh boy. Months 7 and 8. These 2 months were absolutely insane. Marx is a madman. Marx, come on. Shoot me with that silly cannon of yours. Ha 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 ha. Izuku, alright. That's it. Izuku then blasts Marx out of the sky. Marx, GH. Ujdubsk. Izuku, let's see you get out of this. Marx, GH. Marx got sucked in, dealt a lot of damage, and then spewed out. And just like that, training was over and he was knocked out. When he finally came to, Marx, good job on your training this month. Sorry I went too far. Izuku, just don't make me go through that again. Marx, well rest easy. 'Cause the hardest part is finally over. Month 9, the training was simple enough. Izuku would just train with a sword while Meta Knight gave him instructions. After the month was over, Izuku was ready to train with his Ultra Sword as Kirby called it. Month 10, it has been a productive month. Izuku has enough strength to finally wield the Ultra Sword thanks to Kirby. Kirby, alright Izuku. I think yours finally finished. How do you feel? Izuku, I feel incredible. Thank you all so much for helping me get to where I am now. Star allies, we're happy to help. Just then, Adeline walked over to Izuku. Adeline, Izuku? Izuku, why yeah? Adeline, blushing, I just want to say that, throughout these 10 months, I realized that But she couldn't finish because the lore was getting a major distress signal back down on Earth. Everyone, GH. A distress signal? Adeline, drat. I wanted to confess. Where's the distress signal coming from? Izuku, let me check. It's coming from an alleyway. Whatever is going on must be bad. Kirby, then we'd better find out what's going on. Everyone ready? Everyone ready. Kirby, all right. Star allies go. And so they headed back towards Earth, just above the alleyway where the distress signal was coming from, and Kirby, Ribbon, Izuku, Adeline, and Marks jumped down to check what was going on. They couldn't bring everyone because it would bring unwanted attention. As the 5-star allies made it to the alleyway, someone bumped into Izuku. Izuku, oof. Kirby, Magolor, are you okay? Magolor, yeah? I'm okay. Who bumped into me though? Looks down, Magolor, a little girl. Why does she look so scared? I see you found my daughter Eri. Kirby, Ribbon, Adeline, Marks, and Magolor. Overhaul, Operation Baby Unicorn Rescue. The 5 members were in shock. A small little girl that looked like a human unicorn, who looked like she was about to collapse from fear alone, was being tracked down by Overhaul. The Star Allies have done their research on him and how horrible he is. So not even Gui would be dumb enough to fall for that bullshit lie. Magolor, you can't be serious. Overhaul, excuse me? Magolor, her? Your daughter? I know who you are. Kaichisaki aka Overhaul. Quirk Overhaul. Overhaul gives the user the ability to disassemble and then reassemble matter with their bare hands. If you take a target apart, you have the option to either leave it destroyed, restore it to its original form, or even shape it into something new. The process is instant and is effective on everything, including other living people. All you need is to just make contact with something or someone with just one finger to activate your quirk. You can even control how much you disassemble. Overhaul was shocked that this brown-haired cloak-wearing kid figured out everything about his quirk. Overhaul, impressive kid. You figured out so much of my quirk. Well, since you know what I'm capable of, I suggest you hand me back my cure before I have to destroy you. Overhaul started to take off his gloves and Eri noticed it. She was about to run to Overhaul, but she was being held by Magolor too tightly. Magolor whispers, don't worry, Eri. The Star Allies are here to keep you safe. Kirby, Adeline, Ribbon, take care of Eri. Marks, get the other Star Allies. I'll help Izuku. Everyone, hi. Adeline and Ribbon then took Eri out of Magolor's hands and wrapped her up protectively. Marks rushed off to the lore to get the other Star Allies. And Kirby rushed to Magolor ready to fight. Eri, please. Let me go. If you don't, you'll all die because of me. Adeline, I understand that you're worried. Really, I do. Ribbon, but you shouldn't underestimate our friends. They're a lot stronger than you think. Overhaul then slammed his hand into the ground as a bunch of spikes came rushing towards them. Magolor, Revolution Flame. Magolor blasted away all the spikes as Kirby then inhaled the remains and transformed into Stone Kirby. But Magolor disappeared, which made Eri freak out. Eri, no. Another person died because of me. Why do people keep trying to help a cursed child like me? Overhaul, no idea what happened to that dumb friend of yours, but I know that you're all next. Overhaul then starts to walk forward when, yo dude, where you going? Overhaul then looked around in confusion. Eri did too. Overhaul, who said that? Here. Under the car. I'm stuck. Overhaul then looked under the car that was right next to him only to find nothing. I mean up here. I'm on top of the car. Overhaul then looks on top of the car to once again find nothing. Overhaul, okay. What's going on here? Who's saying that? I'm behind you. I'm over you. Overhaul looks above him to still find nothing. I'm under you. Overhaul looks under him to find nothing again. I'm your worst nightmare. Overhaul was starting to get scared until, I'm running to your hideout through the alleyway. You'll never catch me. Overhaul then runs through the alleyway to try and find the culprit until, Magolor Cannon. Magolor comes in from on top of a building and blasts Overhaul, which knocks him out. It turns out that he used his dimensional vanish, reappeared on top of a building, and decided to make fun of Overhaul before completely humiliating him. Marks, ha 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 ha. Well, I see why he wasn't keeping watch of the unicorn. Kirby, Marks? I told you to get the other Star Allies. Marks, sorry. That was just too funny to miss. Ribbon, Magolor? I think you've hung out with Marks for too long. Magolor, but you have to admit, it was funny. Everyone, yeah? Eri, ha ho ha ho ha ho ha ho ha ho ha ho ho. Eri was laughing so hard that she was crying. She saw how funny it was to watch Overhaul be made a fool of. But before they could talk to her, hey, Magolor, Uncle Night Eye? Magolor then slaps his mouth shut. Night Eye? WH what? The only people who called me that are Izumi and Izuku. Kirby, dang it man. You just blew your cover. Night Eye, wait? You're Izuku Yagi? Magolor, I guess I can't lie to you about it now. Yes. I am him. But in public, I now go by Magolor. Night-Eye, you must be lying. Izuku is gone forever. Mexican music plays. If you are so sure about that, then why don't you call Detective Tsukachi? Night-Eye turns around to see Meta Knight. Night-Eye, Meta Knight. I thought it would be you once I heard that music. Sigh, alright. I'll call Tsukachi. The six friends head off to Night-Eye's agency where Magolor would be questioned by Tsukachi soon. But first they had to deal with Star Allies Magolor/Eri. What the hell/heck is happening? Magolor, not again. Bubble Girl must not have been smiling enough. Night-Eye would then release Bubble Girl, who would then leave the room without asking questions. They waited for about 5 minutes until, "Hey Sir Night-Eye. You wanted to see me?" Night-Eye, yes, Tsukachi. This brown-haired kid claims to be Izuku. Tsukachi, what? That's ridiculous. He's gone and will never be back. And it's all that bastard's fault. Magolor, I assure you, Uncle Naomasa, I am indeed Izuku. Tsukachi looked surprised. Tsukachi, he's telling the truth. They both then fainted from shock. Magolor, well, that was a little overdramatic. 5 minutes later, the two adults came to and started asking tons of questions. Magolor, calm down. I'll tell you everything. Just let me speak first. And so Magolor told them everything. From meeting Kirby to dealing with Overhaul. And when he told them how he dealt with Overhaul, they fell on the floor laughing. With Eri joining in with a smile so bright that the sun would be put to shame. Magolor, please don't tell anyone other than the rest of my uncles and aunts about it. I'm not ready to speak with my past just yet. Night-Eye, we understand. Okay. And thank you for taking care of Overhaul. Especially in such a funny way. Magolor, one more thing. I feel like we should take Eri with us. She seems rather attached to me. It was true. Eri was holding on to Magolor like her life depended on it. Tsukachi, sounds like a plan. Do you still plan on going to UA? Magolor, yeah. But it won't be just me. Some of my real friends are joining into the school. Night-Eye, well, I know you can do it, Izuku. Good luck. And thank you for sharing with us. Magolor, thanks for believing in me. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Tsukachi and Night-Eye, bye. And so the gang left and went back to the lower where Eri was greeted by everyone. She was a little nervous at first, but she quickly warmed up to them. A whole week has passed since then, and it's the day of the entrance exam. But how will things go? UA entrance exam. The Star Allies except for DDD, Meta Knight, Doroch, Ku, and DMK have arrived at UA. They are going to take the entrance exam. Kirby, so this is UA High, huh? Magolor, yup. I'm looking forward to getting in. Hey! Out of the way! The Star Allies turned around to see the angry Bomberanian Bakugo himself. Star Allies, oh good grief. Not him. They then saw the rest of Class 1A and saw how they looked very worn out and stressed. They almost felt bad for them. Almost. Eventually, they went inside and took the entrance exam. Thankfully, they all passed. Even Dewey. They then headed to the main lobby and waited for everyone. Eventually, Present Mike, what's up little listeners? Can I get a yeowayowa? Star Allies, YAAH. Present Mike, thank you little listeners. Extra credit for you. Now let's get on with this practical exam. Are you ready? Star Allies, yeah. Bakugo, shut your mouths. Marks, piss off. Bomberanian, Present Mike, alright everyone. Settle down. Allow me to explain the rules. And so Present Mike explained the rules until Susie raised her hand. Present Mike, yes my pink-haired little listener? Susie, my apologies for interrupting, but the pamphlet has 4 types of robots on it. I don't understand. Present Mike, Allow me to explain. The 4th robot is worth 0 points. That guy is just an obstacle that will be in your way. There's one in every battle center, and it's best to avoid it. It's not that it can't be beat. But there's really no point in doing so, Susie. I understand. Thank you for sharing with us. Present Mike, alright. Everyone to your battle centers and go beyond. Plus Ultra. In the viewers' lobby, the teachers have all gathered. Nizu, I feel as though we are going to have some incredible students today. I can't wait to see Izuku's growth. Aizawa, I want to gauge their potential in my class. I wonder if my problem nephew's new friends are good people. As the rest of the teachers are talking, they suddenly hear Mexican music. They then turn around to see DDD, Meta Knight, Ku, DMK, and Doroch. Nizu, Meta Knight. The number 2 hero who has earned Endeavor's respect. Meta Knight, hello old friend. We have come here to watch our friends do the entrance exam. I'm sure they will do great. Just then, a muscle-headed asswipe spoke up. Almight, HH. My daughter will easily defeat your students. Nizu zip it Almight. You are not off the hook for what you have done to Izuku. DMK, don't bother. He'll find out the hard way. Let's get ready to watch our students fight. All hi. Transition to Battle Center A. The star allies have all went to their respective battle center. Magolor, Kirby, Gui, and Flamberge are in Battle Center A. Kine, Bandy, and Taranza are in Battle Center B. Ribbon, Zon Partizan, Rick, and Marks are in Battle Center C. And finally, Francisca, Sectonia, Adeline, and Susie are in Battle Center D. Magolor, here we are. Our Battle Center. This is where we will start to become heroes. Are you guys ready? Flamberge, yeah. Ready to melt some robots. Gui, what time is lunch? Kirby, it's time to become heroes. Excuse me? Magolor turns around to see one of his old tormentors, Ida. Magolor, oh no. Not now. Ida, I would like to ask if you know of someone named Izuku. Magolor, no. Nope. Never heard of him. Ida, I see. He starts to walk away before asking. Ida, do you believe that someone Quirkless can be a hero? Kirby, why do you ask that? Ida, I've done some things that I'm not really proud of. And I've been given punishment. But I know my punishment is not enough. I don't know why I'm allowed to enter such a prestigious school. I bullied a Quirkless kid. No. I didn't just bully him, I downright abused him. I regret what I've done. But it's far too late now. So I want to ask you if you happen to share the same mindset that I did. Flamberge, so he's one of the bullies. Kirby, of course they can. I have a couple friends who happen to be Quirkless. But I know that they can become heroes because they have hearts of gold. It's not about a person's quirk. It's about what those people do. Ida, I see. I'm glad you feel that way. I hope you keep that mindset for the rest of your life. Please don't end up like me, a scumbag. They then heard the door open as Magolor, Kirby, Gui, and Flamberge went inside. Mike then yelled to the audience that they had the right idea and rushed off. Transition to Battle Center B. Kine, Bandy, and Taranza are getting ready for the exam. Bandy let Kine borrow his spears because unless he's submerged in water, he can't use his quirk. Luckily, Bandy has plenty of spears. Bandy, Kine, you good with the spear? Kine, you should know the answer. You're the one who trained me with the spear. Bandy, I'm not that good at teaching. Taranza, stop being so modest, buddy. You, hey. Can I talk to you three for a minute? The three turn around to meet a red-haired bully. Kirishima, I'm Ejiro Kirishima. Can I talk with you? Bandy, sure I guess. Kirishima, thanks. I gotta ask you, what do you think would make someone a man? Taranza, Well, there are many different interpretations of that. If we are speaking in a literal sense, I would say someone who has gone through puberty. If we are speaking metaphorically, though, I'd say a man is someone who acts like a person who will stand up for himself. But more importantly for others. Now, I'm not saying that a man is flawless. But when they do something wrong, a real man will apologize for their actions and do whatever they can to make things right. Even if it kills them. To me, that's what a man is. Why, Kirishima? I wanted to make sure that my assumption about myself was correct. I now know that I was right. I am no man. I'm just a monster and a hypocrite. I've bullied someone in the past and never even apologized. Not once. I thought doing it would protect him. Talk about an idiot. I wish instead of my hardening quirk, I could have a time travel quirk so I could fix my mistakes. But what's done is done. And now I must face the consequences of my own actions. Kine, I'd say that you are on the way to becoming a proper man. It may take a long time, but I'm sure you can get there eventually. Kirishima, thank you, Kine, Kirishima, Kine. I'm going to do my best to make up for what I've done. I'll be a better person. Even if it kills me. The gates then opened and everyone went inside. Transition to Baka Center C. Ribbon, Zon Partizan, Rick, and Marks are getting ready for the exam. Marks, I can't wait to cause some chaos. Zon Partizan, calm down, Marks. If you are to underestimate your foes, you will fail. Excuse me. They turn around to see a kid with a weird-shaped head. Koda, can I ask you something? Ribbon, I guess. What is it? Coda, how do you gain confidence to do stuff? Rick, well mate, there are many ways to gain confidence. But I find the best way is to face your fears head on. Coda, I see. Thanks for telling me. Marks, why do you ask that question? Coda, well, I used to have this friend. My other friends bullied him. I wanted to stand up for him, but I was too scared to do so. So he suffered because of Zon Partisan, I see. You were scared of being tortured by those bullies for standing up for someone. I have a question. Did you participate in the bullying? Coda, and no. I only watched it happen. Zon Partisan, then you didn't make him suffer. Those bullies did. I can tell you have a good heart. All you have to do is find the courage in your heart, and you can be a great hero. Okay, Coda, okay. The gates then opened and the exam started as everyone ran forward to enter the gate. Transition to Battle Center D. Francisca, Sectonia, Adeline, and Susie were prepping for the exam as Susie brought out her business suit and hopped in ready for the exam. Hey! Can I speak with you? The gang turned around to see a girl that looked like Magolor when they first met him. They immediately knew that was his twin sister. Adeline, that must be that whore. Izumi, Sectonia, yes? What is it you'd like to talk about? Izumi wanted to ask her question, but first told the four about what she put her brother through. Izumi, so my question is this, what does a good sister do? Sectonia, I'm afraid I cannot answer that. Izumi, why not? Sectonia, because I am an only child. I've never had siblings. Adeline, same here. Susie, I don't really think it's in my wheelhouse to answer this question. Francisca, I can answer your question. After all, I have two sisters. Izumi, please tell me, Francisca, Izumi, Francisca, well, a good sister will always support the dreams of their siblings. Even if it seems impossible, it's best that they at least support their dreams. Izumi, but my brother would possibly die if he tried to become a hero without a quirk. Francisca, true. But that's no different than with people who do have quirks. Izumi, what? Francisca, look, Izumi, Francisca, Izumi. Being a hero isn't all fun and games. Every time you face a job as a hero, there will always be a possibility for you to die. It doesn't matter if you have a quirk or not. I mean, look at Eraserhead. He has a quirk, yes, but that quirk has no effect on himself. All he can do is erase the quirks of others. Izumi, yeah? I know that, Francisca. But how do you suppose he fights? Izumi, huh? Susie, think about it. All Eraserhead can do is erase the quirks of others. But when it comes to fighting, he's no different than someone who's quirkless. Izumi? You're right, Sectonia, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think he's able to erase the quirks of those with mutant-type quirks. Adeline, which means he has to fight someone who can still use his quirk while fighting quirkless. Izumi, man. I really wish I had thought that through. The gates then opened and everyone ran inside as the test began. As everyone went in, people were amazed by the sheer power of the Star Allies. Ribbon was shooting down many robots with her crystal gun and continuously gaining more and more points. Kain was doing the worst out of all the Star Allies. Not that he was doing bad. Just, by comparison, he was doing the worst. He was a lot better while underwater, but thankfully, the training with Bandy really helped him fight his enemies. Francisca was freezing and destroying as many enemies as she possibly could. While this was happening, she noticed a purple-haired boy who was in trouble. Francisca saved the boy and introduced herself. Francisca Bonjam. Bonjam? Francisca, my apologies. That is how we say hello from where I am from. I thought it was bonjour. Francisca, I'm not from France. My name is Francisca. Francisca then smiled as the purple-haired boy blushed a bit. Hi. My name's Hitoshi Shinso. My quirk is brainwashing. I know. It's villainous. Francisca, doesn't sound villainous to me. It's not like the quirk makes the villain. It's how they use it. Shinso, little blush, see cute. Oh. Thanks. Sigh. I probably won't be getting into UA High now though. My quirk isn't suited for this. Francisca felt bad and then had an idea. Francisca, here. She then gave Shinso a squirt gun. Shinso, a squirt gun? Francisca, I've noticed that the robots are not waterproof. So just shoot them with the soda and they should short circuit. Shinso, soda? Francisca, I like to drink soda. Shinso, fair. And thank you? I'll give this back to you when I'm done. Shinso then ran off to take care of the robots, which he was able to do with ease. Francisca, Light blush, he's kinda cute. Hope we end up in the same class. Zon Partisan constantly kept a calm level while destroying as many robots as she could. She saw Koda fighting and wanted to help, but she decided against it. Zon Partisan, he'll never gain any confidence if people help him with everything. He has to learn on his own. Koda, I'm so scared. I can't do this. All you have to do is find the courage in your heart, and you can be a great hero. Okay? Koda remembered Zon Partisan's words. Koda, she's right. I need to have courage. I have to go beyond. Plus Ultra. Koda then surprised himself by taking down the robots, not with strength but with agility. Unbeknown to him, Zon Partisan was watching. Zon Partisan, I knew you could do it, Koda. I have no doubt that you'll be a great hero in the future. She then rushed off to get more points. Flamberge was putting her fiery speed to good use and melt many robots, which would give her tons of points. She would save some people from getting hurt by the robots, but to be honest, she was more focused on destroying the robots. Marx was just having the time of his life by skewering robots with lightning arrows and very weird plants, blasting them to bits with his bombs and his laser, bashing head first into them, cutting them to bits with his cutters, and sucking them into black holes. Needless to say, he was laughing like a maniac. Susie was constantly destroying other robots with her business suit like it was child's play. She was a little disappointed. Adeline just used her paint to short-circuit the robots. It was really easy to do. Rick would crush a bunch of robots by either stomping on them, or turning into a boulder and ramming into them. That, or he would melt them with his fire breath. Bandy was surprising everyone on his technique with the spear. Ida, wow! You are incredible with the spear. Bandy, no! No! I'm not that good. Taranza was wrapping up many robots in his webs and destroying them with ease. While this was happening, he saw a student falling. Luckily, Taranza acted fast and saved the student with his webs. Sectonia was doing the same. Of course, she found a student under a bit of rubble who couldn't move because if they did, the rubble would completely collapse on them. Luckily, Sectonia managed to wrap the rubble up in her webs, which allowed them to escape. Gui was doing well. Despite being really dumb, Gui sure knows how to fight. He would crush his foes by turning into stone in midair, turn into a burning flame and ran into them, and transform into his mock matter form and blast his enemies. Kirby was incredible with his foes. After he inhales one of the robots, he became Mecha Kirby and destroyed robots left and right, while saving others. And Magolor was doing just as well as Kirby. With all his magical abilities that he learned over the past 10 months, those robots couldn't stand a chance. But the job was not over just yet. Back to the monitoring room. Nizam made his speech about how the students are doing. Almight, ha ha hh. I know that Izumi is on top of the chart. Nizu, no. Not even close. Those two are. He then pointed to the screens that had Kirby and Magolor. DDD. Next time, don't jump to your goddamn conclusions. DMK. Well, I believe that it's time for the real test to begin. What about you, Nizu? I like the way you think, Dark Meta Knight. He then pressed a button and released the 0-pointer. Battle Center D. Francisca, Sectonia, Susie, and Adeline. Holy crap. Susie, okay. I am no longer disappointed in these robots. That thing looks to be the size of Star Dream. Everyone was running away from the 0-pointer. The four friends were about to do the same, but then they saw Izumi trip and was about to be crushed. So the four decided to do what they had to do. Sectonia made a large web which took up all her energy. Adeline would create a barrier in front of the 0-pointer so that Izumi could escape in time. Francisca got on the web and Susie used her business suit to slingshot her. Once she was close enough, she unleashed a giant snowflake from her staff and used it to destroy the head. The robot then exploded, but thanks to the barrier, no one was caught in the explosion. Battle Center C. Rick, Zon Partisan, and Ribbon. It's so big. Marx, that's what she said. Zon Partisan, I'll deal with you later. A lot of people are so scared of the events happening that they can't move. Rick, hey, isn't that Koda mate helping people get moving? Zon Partisan, he seems to have found his courage. Okay, here's the plan. Marx, HEY. Who made you in charge? Zon Partisan, okay then. What's your problem plan, Marx? Marx, like I said, go ahead. Zon Partisan, geez. Okay. Rick. Ribbon. You two are going to help Koda with the bystanders. Marx. You and I are going to take care of the 0-pointer. I'll use my electro eclair, and you'll use your Mark's cannon. Understand? Mark's, Ribbon, and Rick. Right. And so Rick and Ribbon help Coda out with saving the other examinees while Marks and Zon Partisan rush off to the zero-pointer and use their attacks to blast it to bits, saving everyone. Battle Center B. Taranza, Kine, and Bandy, AAH. Taranza then realized that if they don't do something about the zero-pointer, many people could be trampled. They are not fast enough to outrun it. Taranza, okay guys. I have a plan. I'll create a giant web trampoline for us to launch ourselves from and then we'll give it our team attack. Kine and Bandy, sounds like a plan, and so they put Taranza's plan into action. He created a giant web trampoline and they all piggybacked on each other. This confused everyone until they saw the three glowing. They then jumped on the web, launched themselves high into the air, and unleashed a powerful blast that completely decimated the robot. Everyone was in awe while a certain Bomberanian was growling like one. Battle Center A. Kirby, Gui, Flamberge, and Magolor. Isn't this a bit much? Just then, Magolor noticed that one of his old tormentors, Tokoimi, was crushed under the rubble. The four looked at each other and knew what had to be done. Gui and Flamberge rushed to the rubble to help Tokoimi, while Kirby discarded his mecha ability and got out his emergency ability, Ultra Sword. While Magolor was channeling his magic energy as the two ran towards the zero-pointer. Gui and Flamberge had gotten Tokoimi out as they were trying to escape the zero-pointer. But it was catching up because Flamberge's speed wouldn't help since she was carrying someone. Luckily, Kirby and Magolor arrived at the scene. Kirby and Magolor, Ultra Sword. With their Ultra Swords, they split the robot in half. Right down the middle. And just like that, the zero-pointer was gone. Present Mike, and that's it. Time's up. The Star Allies. Hope we got enough points. The teachers in the monitoring room were at a loss for words. Aizawa, problem nephew. You've grown so much. I know you'll become a great hero. Meanwhile, in a strange location, it seems to me that he has grown so much. I am proud of him. When do you plan on revealing yourself to him? All for one. All for one. My son is not yet ready to learn about his real father. Are you sure? All for one, indeed I am. I will reveal myself to him soon enough. Don't worry, your grandson will learn the truth soon, Nana. Nana, I still don't like how you had me fake my death. All for one, you think I liked it myself? But we both noticed how that musclehead started acting after you gave him my brother's quirk. We had to do this to see if he really had been abusing the power. But at least we know that Izuku is doing well now. I just hope he stays on the right path. Good luck, Izuku. I look forward to seeing what else you can do. Confessions. With the entrance exam finished, the Star Allies headed back to the lore because they left Eri there since she was sleeping. But they put a note on the front of her door to let her know that they were taking the entrance exam. Izuku, we're back. Eri then ran over to Izuku. Eri, Papa! She then gave him a hug while the Star Allies were staring in shock. Izuku, wait, what did you call me? Eri, Papa. Ms. Lore said that a papa is someone who takes care of you and makes you happy. Do you not want to be my papa? Francisca then fainted from the sheer cuteness of that conversation. Izuku, well, if you want me to be your papa. Izuku then gave his signature smile. Izuku, then I'll be your papa. Eri, why? And then DMK fainted from the sheer cuteness of this conversation. And then, Eri, if you're my papa, who's my mama? That sent Izuku into a blushing mess while Marks was laughing his ass off. Izuku, well, there isn't one for the moment. Maybe someday, but not today. Eri, okay, Papa. Adeline, I need to find the right moment to confess. Hopefully soon. The week went by in a flash. It was mostly spent with Eri, who was melting everyone's hearts without even trying. The unicorn would have nightmares at times, but her papa was always there for her and reassured her that everything was okay. They got their acceptance letters and they all passed. In fact, Izuku was number 1 on the board. As they were celebrating, Adeline asked Izuku to meet with her in private. So Izuku chose to do so. Izuku, Adeline? What's wrong? Adeline, can I be honest with you, Izuku? Izuku, sure. Adeline, when I met you, I thought you were a bit strange. But when I heard your backstory, I was reminded a bit of myself. Everyone bullied me for looking like a boy. Even my ex-friends who said that they would always be there for me. When I met Kirby, he was always friendly with me. He told me that looks don't matter. It's what you do that counts. So when I met you, it reminded me of my past a little. Now, I didn't have it nearly as bad as you, but still, and then when you started your muttering, I thought it was pretty cute. But then you saved me from that sword. Granted, it was fake, but neither of us knew, so it's pretty clear you would have done it again. You did it to protect me. And now I've realized that, blushes. Izuku, little blush tea that what? Adeline, that I'm in love with you Izuku. Silence. That was all that was heard for what felt like an hour. Adeline was expecting a negative response, only to be pulled in for a kiss by Izuku. Izuku, I love you too. I'm so happy to have met you all, but you are the one who I have fallen in love with. You're beautiful, smart, caring, funny, and encouraging. How could I not love you? Tears began to stream from Adeline as she nuzzled into Izuku's neck. They were about to kiss again when, Eri, does this make Adeline my mama? Izuku and Adeline, ah. Eri, Izuku, sorry. You surprised us. But, Adeline then smiles. Adeline, yes, Eri. I'm your mama. Then all three of them cuddled into each other. Unbeknownst to them, Daroche had recorded the whole thing and sent it to the other star allies. Along with Izuku's uncles and aunts. Daroche, I'll let them have their moment for now. But watch out. Tomorrow, we start school. Don't worry though. Highness will keep Eri safe, and make her laugh, or he will die because Eri is constantly melting everyone's hearts. First day, Class 1A, Magolor, Kirby, Bandy, Gui, Marks, Taranza, Sectonia, Rick, Kine, Susie, Adeline, Ribbon, and the Mage Sisters arrived at UA. Magolor, alright everyone. Which classes do you have? 1A? Or 1B? Sectonia, I'm in 1B. Susie, I'm also in 1B. Zon Partisan, so am I. Bandy, I'm in 1A. Kirby, I'm also in 1A. Rick, 1B. Francisca, I have 1A. Flamberge, I got 1B. Taranza, I got 1B as well. Yes. I'm with Sectonia. Gui, I don't remember how to read. Ribbon, let me see that. Ah. We have the same class Gui. We're both in 1A. Gui, oh, I like turtles. Marks, I've got 1B. Sounds fun. Adeline, I'm in 1A. Kine, I got 1B. Magolor, and I got 1A. Well, meet up with everyone soon. And so the Star Allies students went to their respective classes. And this chapter is all about the 1A side of the first day. So let's go over to the 1A Star Allies. Magolor, wow. That door is giant. Gui, doors are fun. Magolor, what if my tormentors are here? I mean, Ida seems to regret what he did, but the others. Adeline, Izumi also regrets her decisions. Kirby, wait. How do you know? Francisca, before the exam started, she talked to us because she wanted to know how a good sister acts like. She seems to really hate herself for it. Kirby, Magolor? Do you plan on forgiving Izumi? Magolor, it's possible, but the emotional scars she gave me will never be healed. And on top of that, I'm not just going to forgive her immediately. Or any of my tormentors. But I am willing to give them a second chance to see if they can truly become better people. Ribbon, seems like the right decision to me. Magolor, I've learned a lot from you all. And I won't keep the hatred in my heart bottled up. If I let it overtake me, I'll become someone just as bad. So let's go inside. Everyone, hi! Everyone entered 1A, and unfortunately, Magolor's tormentors were all in the same class. Magolor, damn. It is not my day. Then Ida noticed the gang and greeted himself. The Star Allies greeted him back and talked for a bit about what class was going to be like until, if you're just here to make friends, you should pack your stuff and leave. Everyone looked to see Shota Aizawa in his sleeping bag. Aizawa, welcome to UA High. I'm your homeroom teacher, Shota Aizawa. Gui, hi Dad. Everyone, Dad? Aizawa, Gui. You weren't supposed to tell them. Sai, well, what's done is done. Everyone meet me at the training grounds after you put these on. He then hands the Class UA gym clothes. Eventually, everyone was at the training grounds. But to everyone's surprise, Ku was there. Ajri, Mr. Aizawa? Who is he? Aizawa, he is my TA, Ku. Ku, I expect you to be on your best behavior. Aizawa, now today we will be doing a Quirk assessment test. 1A, a Quirk assessment test? Uraraka, but orientation. We'll miss it. Ku, those are pretty boring. Aizawa, and my class, my rules. Now will the student who got first in the exam come to me? Bakugo started to walk forward. Aizawa, not you. Bakugo, what? Aizawa, you were barely in 15th place. Bakugo was vivid with anger as Magolor walked forwards. Aizawa, there we go. Now, Magolor, what was your record for the distance of how far you threw a soft ball back in middle school? Magolor, I'd say about 34 meters. Aizawa, try doing it again with your quirk. Anything goes as long as you stay in the circle. Go on, you're wasting time. Magolor, strict as always. Huh, Uncle Aizawa? Alright. Here goes. Magolor Cannon. Magolor uses his Magolor Cannon to shoot the ball far into the Earth's atmosphere, causing it to leave the Earth's orbit. Aizawa, all of you need to find out your limits. Ku then shows the score Magolor got. 1A. The Star Allies what? Infinity? Kirby. Great job, Magolor. Magolor. Thanks, Kirby. Mina. I wanna go too. That looks like fun. Kirishima. This is what I'm talking about. Using our quirks as much as we want. Magolor. Now you've done it. Gui. What have you moronic buffoons done? Magolor. Did he just say moronic buffoons? The Star Allies looked terrified. Kirby, Magolor? Here's the thing about Gui. When something really bad is about to happen, he goes from being as dull as a marshmallow to becoming very smart. But that only happens when things are about to get frighteningly bad. Magolor, oh geez. Aizawa, so this looks like fun to you? You have 3 years to become heroes. You think it's going to be all fun and games? Idiots. Today you will be competing in 8 physical tests. The one who comes in last will have none, and will be expelled immediately. Gui, I knew it. I knew you idiots would cause this to happen. Uraraka, but that's not fair. Aizawa, fair? Don't you dare talk to me about being fair. Not after what you did to my nephew. Star Allies, yikes. He's scary, and so the tests begin. But obviously, I'm only doing the parts that have the Star Allies competing. So let's get to it. Test 150-meter dash. Magolor went first. And he was up against Bakugo. Bakugo, I'm gonna humiliate you. Don't you dare look down on Ku, oh for buck's sake. This is a test. Not a bully session. Ready, go. Bakugo, burst speed. Magolor surge. It was a close finish, but Magolor won in the end. Needless to say, Bakugo was angry. Now it was Bandy's turn. He was up against Uraraka, who lightened her clothes and shoes. When it came to running though, they were both running quirkless. Luckily, Bandy was a lot more trained, so he managed to win. Ribbon was up next. She was up against Azuri. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to win. She came close, however. But speed wasn't her thing. Up next was Gui. He was up against Ida. He lost pretty badly. Ida was worried that Aizawa would show favoritism, not that he'd be surprised by it, since 1. He did a lot of horrible things, and 2. Gui is Aizawa's son, but to his surprise, Aizawa still gave him and Gui the correct scores. Then came Kirby. He was up against Izumi. He brought out his will copy essence and became Will Kirby. It was over before it began. And Izumi didn't say anything. She was too focused on what has happened with Izuku, wherever he is, not knowing that he is with her in this class. Now it's Adeline's turn. She was up against Mina. She painted up some roller blades and used them to increase her speed. But she fell and Mina got the win with Adeline about 3 seconds behind. But her boyfriend was there to comfort her. To which Mina started fangirling. Last up was Francisca. She was up against Todoroki. This ended in a draw since Francisca turned the ground to ice, and they are both experienced in skating on ice. Test 2, Grip Strength. Magolor's magic couldn't enhance his grip strength, unfortunately. But he still got 75.9 kilograms. Adeline created metal claws and got about 159 kilograms. Ribbon got 48.7 kilograms. Gripping wasn't her best feat. Francisca used her cryokinesis to make ice gauntlets. She managed to score about 243.2 kilograms. Kirby inhaled a rock that he found on his way to the grip strength test and became Stone Kirby. He then made stone fists and destroyed the grip strength test. Gui and Bandy got the same score, 62.479 kilograms. Test 3, Standing Long Jump. Magolor and Francisca levitated to the other side with ease. Kirby inhaled some air and floated to the other side. Ribbon just flew to the other side. Gui transformed into his mock matter form and floated to the other side. Adeline made some spring shoes and hopped very far. But she still didn't make it. Bandy put his spear skills to good use and spun it around fast enough to lift himself up in the air and to the other side. Test 4, Repeated sidesteps. Same as Cannon. Test 5, Ball Throw. Magolor didn't have to do this again, but the other Star Allies did. Ribbon flew up as high as she could and shot the ball out with her crystal gun. She got 209.46 meters. Gui did the same thing but with his Mach laser. He got 156.43 meters. Bambi couldn't do much, unfortunately. But he did get exactly 100 meters since he was great at using his arms. Kirby asked Adeline for a hammer to inhale. After she did that, Kirby became Hammer Kirby and knocked the ball far, far away. He got 999.99 meters. Francisca used her staff as a bat and hit it 352 meters away. Adeline created a massive cannon and shot the ball through that. She got 800 meters. The rest of the tests went by with the Star Allies dominating them. Aizawa then showed everyone their scores and Mineta was in last. He then cried out a bunch of perverted things. Aizawa, I was going to say that I was lying, but never mind that. Mineta, you're expelled. And just like that, the pervert was gone. Everyone grabbed a syllabus and went off as the Star Allies met up with their friends that went to 1B. Magolor, hey guys. How was it? Susie, allow me to tell you. First day, Class 1B. Marx, Sectonia, Rick, Kine, Taranza, Susie, Flamberge, and Zahn Partizan just arrived at Class 1B. Taranza, wow. It's huge. Marx, that's what she said. Flamberge, I am gonna kill you. Zahn Partizan, not now, Flamberge. We are at school. It can wait. Marx, phew. They then enter and meet with the other students of Class 1B. As they chat amongst themselves, their homeroom teacher Vlad King enters. VK. Alright everyone. Quiet down. Everyone then stopped talking. VK, I am your homeroom teacher Sakidro, Kansas. But you may call me Vlad King. Now. Under normal circumstances, we would head off to orientation, but let's be honest, no one is here for such a boring thing. We are going to do a quirk assessment test. So meet me at the training grounds and get ready to work your ass off. Time skip to the start of the test. Brought to you by Highness making Airy laugh. Taranza, hey. Is that DMK? It indeed was. VK, alright class. I'd like you to meet your TA DMK. DMK, greetings class. So it's time for us to start our quirk assessment test. Let's do this. DMK and Monoma? Monoma, HM? What is it? DMK, I can tell by your face that you plan on having a stupid and petty rivalry with Class 1A. To which I am going to shut down right now. Being a hero is not about competition. It's about being trusted by others so that they can feel safe in your presence. Monoma, are you related to Meta Knight? Because that sounds like something he would say. DMK, let's just say that we're twin brothers and leave it there. Alright, Monoma, alright. Test 150-meter dash. Kine went up first. He went against a girl whose hair was covering her eyes. Kine, you can see through your hair, right? Komori, don't worry. I'm fine. Don't worry about it. DMK and begin. The race was on, but the end result was that Komori won. Flamberge went up against the boy who DMK spoke with earlier. When he tried to touch her without warning, Flamberge dodged and gave him a horrifying death stare. Flamberge, don't you dare touch me. Monoma, yikes. I am sorry. Before any further aggression could be displayed, DMK started the test and Flamberge won in 2 seconds. Kine, Monoma, you should never touch a woman without their consent. Monoma then fainted from sheer terror. VK, that Flamberge is quite the fierce one, isn't she? DMK, oh yeah. Marx was up next against a girl with green hair and sharp teeth, who then started flirting with him. Setsuna, see something you like, cutie? Marx blushed a bit before deciding to fight back. Marx, you mean a gorgeous girl like you? Yeah. Marx likey. Setsuna started to blush madly that someone actually flirted back with her. Then the test started and it took Marx 3 seconds to beat Setsuna. Marx, what's wrong? A cutie like you can't keep up with lil ol' Marx. DMK and VK, this is not a class on flirting. VK, that class is next month. DMK, exactly what? Up next came Zahn Partizan. She went up against a girl with orange hair. Kendo, nice to meet you. I'm Itsuka Kendo. Zahn Partizan, nice to meet you Kendo. I'm Zahn Partizan. But you can call me Zahn Par if you'd like. Kendo, sounds good. Let's do our best. And the test began. Thanks to Zahn Partizan's lightning speed, she won easily. Up next was Susie. She went against a kid who looked a little chubby. As the test started, the race wasn't much of a thrill. Since Shota didn't have anything to use his quirk on, he was doing this test quirkless. And Susie is already quirkless, so she had to run on her own. The test ended with Shota barely winning. It was now Sectonia against Taranza. Because they have such similar quirks, this race ended with a draw. Finally, it was Rick's turn. He was up against a girl who he noticed was having trouble speaking Japanese. So he decided to speak English. Rick, hello mate. I take it you don't speak Japanese well, right? Pony, you speak English. Rick, well, I'm more Australian than English, but yeah. I've learned a thing or two about English. If you ever need someone to tutor you on Japanese, just let me know and I'll be happy to help you, mate. Pony, thank you. And so, after their talk, they did their test. Rick won with his hamster speed. Test 2, grip strength test. The only one who did well on the test was Susie after bringing out her business suit and destroying the grip strength test. Test 3, repeated sidesteps. Do I really have to explain this? I can't describe any more of these tests except the ball throw and standing long jump, to be honest. Test 4, standing long jump. Susie used her drone to fly to the end of the sandpit. Sectonia, Taranza, and Zan Partizan levitated to the end of the sandpit. Kine unfortunately failed miserably. Flamberge vaulted herself with her fire sword and cleared the area. Rick also failed miserably, and Marks just used his wings and flew to the end of the sandpit. Test 5, ball throw. Flamberge used her fire cannon and blasted the ball into space, giving her an infinity score. Marks used his Marks cannon to blast his ball into outer space as well, giving him an infinity score too. Zan Partizan flew up so high into the Earth atmosphere that all she had to do was throw the ball just a little, that it would drift into space, so she got an infinity score. Taranza used his electrokinetic web to throw it as high and as far as possible. He managed to get a score of 1,256 meters. He worked smarter, not harder. Sectonia ended up launching her ball by doing what she did during the entrance exam and made a large slingshot and shot the ball 10 meters farther than Taranza. Rick and Kine could not do much in this test since their quirks aren't useful for throwing balls. Finally, Susie used her business suit to throw the ball even farther than Sectonia by 5 meters. The rest of the tests are irrelevant. Let's be honest. VK then showed how everyone did. Unfortunately, Kine got last. Thankfully, no one thought of him any less. DMK, never forget the bonds that you will be building for the next 3 years. Teamwork is the second best way to defeat your enemies. Kendo, second best. What's the best way? DMK is simple. The best way to defeat an enemy is to make them your friend. Trust me, I know from experience. VK, class dismissed. Time skip, Susie, and that's what happened. Kirby, I guess DMK does have experience with that. As they continued talking, the gang made their way back to the lore where Highness and Eri were at. Highness, star allies. I lost Eri. Everyone, you what? Highness, help me find her. Everyone rushed to Highness, scared out of their minds, only to see that he was joking and Eri was on top of his head, smiling bright like a diamond. Battle Training Part 1. It's the second day of school. We have our normal classes. But in reality, no one really cares about that. You're all here for the main event. Magolor, it's almost time for our heroics class. I'm so excited. Kirby, I wonder who our teacher will be. Kirishima, I overheard that we have 2 teachers this year. I am. Magolor, no. No, Kirby, crud. Adeline, that failure of a father. Gooey, oh dear. That ignorant meat sack. Francisca, I think I might lose my chill for once. Bandy, the hypocrite. Ribbon, poor Izuku. Almight, coming through the door like a Mexican music plays. Don't say that this is how a normal person walks through a door. It is not normal. Kirby, Meta Knight? You're a teacher? Why didn't you tell us? Meta Knight, I was sworn to secrecy. Kirby, oh. That makes sense. Todoroki, he knows my favorite hero? Meta Knight was the one who changed my father. He's my idol. But how do they know each other? Class 1A was surprised by Meta Knight's appearance as the other teacher. Then Tokoemi came up to him. Tokoemi, Sir Meta Knight? May I speak with you outside? I would like some of your wisdom. Meta Knight, all right. Come with me. While All Might was explaining the usual stuff, we go into the more important side with Tokoemi. Meta Knight, I assume this is about the one you bullied. Am I correct? Tokoemi, so you know. I don't expect someone as incredible as you to feel so guilty and Meta Knight, oh. I know the feeling of guilt. Allow me to tell you a story. Before I was a hero, I was a part of a secret group called the Star Warriors. During then, I had a friend. He was my best friend. He and I were partners. We always worked side by side to defeat the forces of evil. Evil that you could not even comprehend. Evil that made what you and your friends did to your friend seem like nothing. We shared many hard times. And many happy ones. I was proud to call him my best friend. But one night, we let our guard down, and we were ambushed. Many star warriors were lost. Including my best friend, Tokoemi. I see. No wonder you feel so. Meta Knight, I have not yet finished the story. I thought he would never return. But the monster brought him to my mortal enemy. He was then brought back to life. When he returned, I was overjoyed. But that joy quickly turned to sorrow. Because my mortal enemy changed him. He was now on his side. I had no choice but to kill him. Tokoemi was shocked and couldn't think of anything to say. Meta Knight, however, there was something that stopped him from fully surrendering himself to my mortal enemy. It was the love he had for his son. But even knowing this, I still feel guilty. If I had just been more skilled, my best friend would still be alive. However, I don't let this guilt get in the way of my hero work. We should not dwell on the past too much. Instead, we must learn from it. And use it to become better people. And you should do the same. I can tell that you regret everything you've done. And that shows that you've changed. That you have become a better person. So take this, and your past, as a lesson on what to do, and what not to do. Do you understand? Tokoemi then bowed. Tokoemi, yes, Meta Knight. And thank you for sharing with me. I needed that. Meta Knight, good to hear. Now your class is leaving to the training ground beta. You should get your hero costume and head over there. Tokoemi then bowed and did just that. Time skipped to training ground beta. Almight, they say the clothes make the man. Remember that, students. For you are all now heroes in training. Everyone's costumes are the same as in canon. Izumi's costume is the same as Deku's costume beta. And here are the outfits for the star allies. Almight, this is getting me all revved up. You look so cool. Meta Knight, alright students. It's time to start. Ida, Mr. Knight. This is the same place where we did our entrance exam. Does that mean we will be fighting robots? Almight, not quite. We're going to be moving you 2 steps ahead. Allow me to explain. Most of the time, you see heroes fighting villains outside. But the more dangerous criminals happen indoors. Think about it. Hostage situations. Backroom deals. Secret underground lairs. The most dangerous criminals are the ones who hide in the shadows. For this exercise, you'll be split into teams of good guys and bad guys and fight in 2-on-2 indoor battles. Tsu, isn't this a little advanced? Almight, the best training is what you get on the battlefield. But remember, you can't just punch a robot this time. You're dealing with actual people now. Most of the students then started asking many questions. Some reasonable. Some worrying. And, Aoyama, isn't this cape trace chic? Almight, I wasn't finished talking. Meta Knight, here is the situation. The villains have hidden a nuclear missile somewhere in their hideout. The heroes must stop them. In order for that to be done, the heroes must either capture the villains or recover the weapon. But the villains will win if they protect their weapon or capture the heroes. Also, capes are about more than just fashion. Almight, time's limited and we will pick teams by drawing lots. Ida, is that really how we are doing this? Magolor, well, think about it. Pros often have to team up with others right on the spot. Ida, huh? You make a good point. Thank you, Magolor. And I apologize for my rudeness, Almight. Meta Knight, it is understandable. So let's draw lots. Team A, Magolor and Gui. Team B, Francisca and Ribbon. Team C, Kirby and Adeline. Team D, Bandy and Izumi. Team E, Bakugo and Ida. Team F, Tokoemi and Ajiri. Team G, Kaminari and Jiro. Team H, Ojiro and Hagakure. Team I, Todoroki and Aoyama. Team J, Mina and Yayorozu. Team K, Shoji and Koda. Team L, Uraraka and Sato. Team M, Kirishima and Siro. Bandy, so, looks like you and I are a Team Izumi. Izumi, yeah? Sorry for that. Bandy, what do you owe? Izumi, you're stuck with the worst sister in the world instead of with one of your friends. Bandy, Francisca was right. She really is down in the dumps. I honestly want to tell her that Magolor is really Izuku. But that is not something for me to say. At least she realizes the consequences of her actions. All Might, I declare the first match will be these guys. Team E will be the heroes. Team A will be the villains. Meta Knight, it is time to start the battle exercise. Everyone who is not participating just yet, head to the surveillance room. And Magolor. Gooey. Remember to think like an evildoer. Embody it. Be a criminal mastermind. Gooey, Hamburger. Magolor, seriously Gooey? Sigh, oh well. They then went inside and came up with a plan. Magolor, okay Gooey. I want you to keep guard of the bomb while I set up plenty of tricks and traps. Got it? Gooey, Magolor, good enough for me. For the next 5 minutes, Magolor set up an elaborate series of traps. Magolor, this is going to be awesome. Hee, Almight, heroes you may enter. Magolor would then vanish into another plane of existence so no one could see him. Ida, Bakugo. You know we would be more suited as the villains after what we've done to Izuku. Bakugo, you think I give a shit? News flash, I don't. He was nothing more than a stepping stone for me to become the #1 hero. He was just a quirkless DKU. Magolor, you haven't changed at all Bakugo. Click. Bakugo then heard a noise and out came some dulled needles basically punching him in the stomach and sending him flying. Magolor, ha! You'd better watch your step. This whole place is filled with traps. Have fun, Bakugo, you bastard! I'm going to kill you! Bakugo ran after Magolor, only to get hit by a magic sphere that got shot out of the wall when Bakugo hit a tripwire. Ida wasn't faring any better. He kept on getting hit. Sometimes it was a magic sphere. Sometimes it was a dulled-out needle. Ida, he's good. I never expected him to come up with such a plan. Bakugo, that's it. You're dead. Just then, he stepped on a trap tile and Magolor popped out. Magolor bombs? You want it? It's yours, my friend. He then let out a mighty bomb that blew up in Bakugo's face. Literally. Ida, Bakugo. Are you alright? Bakugo, they're loaded. Magolor saw his gauntlets glow a little red and his eyes widened. Bakugo, let me tell you about how my quirk, explosion, works. I secrete a nitroglycerin like sweat and make it blow up from my hands. Imagine what I could do if I had a lot of it. Meta Knight, Bakugo. A hero does not do this. You could kill him, Bakugo. Oh, he'll be fine so long as he dodges. He then pulled the trigger and Magolor was engulfed as everyone in the surveillance room was freaking out. Until Magolor, cute trick boom boy. When the smoke cleared, Magolor was completely fine, and his shield had only lost 1 hit. But that could easily be recovered. Bakugo, what? How? Magolor, training. Lots of training. Ida, Bakugo. I went off to find the bomb and Gooey easily caught me with a pink scarf that was just like Mr. Aizawa's. Bakugo, what? You idiot. Meta Knight, Bakugo, if you do that again, you will lose. Unleashing a powerful attack indoors is a terrible strategy. Even if you were on the villain's side. Magolor, hey boom boy. Take this. Magolor surge. Magolor then gave Bakugo 3 consecutive hits with his surge move and knocked him out. Magolor then used the capture tape on him. Meta Knight, the villain team has won. Battle Training Part 2. All Might now! Who can tell me who the MVP was? Momo. It was Magolor because he played to his strengths, kept the damage of his own attacks to a minimum, placed out traps, and messed with his opponents. While Ida had a strategy, it was poorly thought out because he underestimated Gooey. You should always be prepared for anything. And while Gooey did good, he didn't really do as much as Magolor did. While Bakugo just went charging in like a wild animal and destroyed a huge part of the building which could have resulted in property damage, or worse, loss of lives. Meta Knight, yes. You are correct, Ms. Yayorozu. All Might, yeah. Whatever. Now let's continue on. The next battle will be Team K as the heroes and Team H as the villains. Ojiro and Hagekure were in front of the building, thinking about what they have done. Ojiro, we should probably drop out of this school. We don't belong here. Hagekure, I agree. Let's talk to them after this. Are you sure you wish to do such a thing? Hagekure, eep. Who said that? Over here. Ojiro and Hagekure walked to where the voice was and found. Ojiro, who are you? I'm Claysha. And I once made a similar mistake. I once betrayed my best friend. But I want you to know that it's still possible to make things right. Just don't fall into despair. If I did, I never wouldn't have made up with my best friend. So please don't act like this and just work towards being a better person. Hagekure, I understand. Thank you for sharing with us. Claysha, my pleasure. I have to head back. The business course's lunch break is going to end soon. Bye. And so Glacia left. As Ojiro and Hagakure made it back, the test had just begun. The fight went rather well. But because of Shoji's quirk, he was able to hear Hagakure trying to sneak up to the bomb and managed to subdue her. Without touching her, Shoji got the MVP and the next teams were Meta Knight. Team D will be the heroes and Team J will be the villains. So Bandy and Izumi made their way to the front of the building. Bandy, I can't wait to start this. Izumi, you'll probably fail with a person like me on your team. Bandy, why do you keep talking about yourself that way? He knows why. But he doesn't want to give away Magolor's secret. Izumi, because I am the worst sister in the world. I bullied my own brother for something he had no control over. It wasn't his fault that was quirkless. And yet, sniff, I still treated him like trash. I'm a horrible sister. I should just take the advice Bakugo gave my brother, and just jump off the top of this building. Actually, yeah. That's something I have to do. I deserve it anyways. Bandy then slapped her hard as she fell to the floor in shock. Bandy, are you insane? Izumi, I don't blame you for hating me. After all, Bandy, that's not what I'm saying. How could you even think that committing suicide is the way to make up for all this? That's horrible, Izumi but Bandy, and no buts. You think your brother would want that? To find out that you killed yourself over all this? When there are plenty of other ways, better ways to atone for your misdeeds. Izumi stared at him in shock. A boy who she knows nothing about is telling her to keep moving forward. Even after all that she did. Izumi, why are you saying this to me? Bandy took in a deep breath and started to talk in a normal tone. Bandy, because if what they say is true, your brother would not want this. He would no doubt be mad at what you've done to him, yeah? But he wouldn't want you to end your life. So stop thinking suicidal thoughts. I hate when people think that stuff. In fact, many of my friends started out as my enemies. But to this day, they are my actual friends. Who's to say that the same thing can't be said for you? Bandy then held out his hand, and Izumi took it. She was then brought back up to her feet, and they heard All Might announce the start of the test. As they ran off, they were met with Yayorozu, who had a blaster in her hand. She would shoot at Izumi, who dodged it, and Bandy would destroy the blaster with his spear. Izumi, Bandy. Move out of the way. Bandy, got it. Izumi, smash. Izumi then punched Yayorozu with one for all. Bandy, so that's one for all, huh? Bandy noticed that Momo was knocked out and had capture tape on her. But more importantly, Izumi's hand was a complete mess. Bandy, Izumi. Are you okay? Izumi, no. I'm not. I used my quirk at too much power, and now my arm is useless. Bandy, hang on. Bandy removed the tip of his spear, and used it with the capture tape to make a temporary cast for Izumi's arm. Bandy, there we go. Now we should be able to keep going. Good thing I have a bunch of spare spears. Izumi looked at her cast. Then at Bandy as she blushed. Izumi, thank you. Bandy, my pleasure. Now let's keep going. As they continued to head up, they spotted Mina in front of the bomb writing down ship theories. Bandy and Izumi managed to sneak behind her, touch the bomb, and win the match. Afterwards, Izumi was taken to Recovery Girl and Bandy was named MVP. Much to All Might's disappointment, up next was Team I as the heroes against Team L as the villains. Todoroki just froze most of the building and easily won against Uraraka and Sato. Todoroki was the MVP. Then came Team F as the heroes against Team G as the villains. Kaminari was able to handle Dark Shadow with his quirk but was captured by Azuri. Then, Jiro used her quirk to keep Azuri at bay until the time ran out. Jiro was the MVP. Now for Team B as the heroes against Team M as the villains. Francisca, okay Ribbon. I want you to fly up and find which room holds the bomb. Ribbon then flew up and found it on the 3rd floor. Ribbon, it's on the 3rd floor. Let's go. As the test began, the two girls ran up the building but were stopped on the 2nd floor by Kirishima and Siro. Siro tried to tape the up, but with Ribbon's crystal gun, the tape was ripped to shreds. Francisca then froze those two stiff before Kirishima could get the chance to act. And so, they wrapped the capture tape around the frozen boys and won the match. Francisca was the MVP. It was now time for Team B against, Ida, Team B has no one to fight. What's going to happen? Meta Knight, everyone follow me. The students and All Might follow Meta Knight to an area of the school no one has even seen before. I can't find a picture. So just imagine the area where you fight Meta Knight in Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Meta Knight, here Kirby. Inhale this sword. And you and Adeline shall face off against me. Everyone, what? Kirby, alright then. Adeline, are you sure about this, Meta Knight? Meta Knight, yes. I am sure. I wish to test your strengths against me in a 2-on-1 fight. Students and all might except for Kirby and Adeline, to the stands, and so everyone went to the stands and got prepared for the fight with Meta Knight. The fight was on. Kirby and Meta Knight began clashing their blades with incredible speed. Adeline was painting up a sword so she could use it to fight against Meta Knight. Meta Knight, you certainly haven't been slacking off, Kirby. Adeline then thrusted her painted sword at Meta Knight, who dodged and started using his quirk to fly around with his bat wings. He then used a skill he had learned a few months ago, geokinesis. Many stones were falling at the same time. Luckily, Kirby and Adeline found a safe spot and dodged the stones. Meta Knight then released multiple sword beams that would have hit Kirby if Adeline had not created a shield in time. But then Meta Knight used his dimensional cape and vanished, only to reappear behind the two. He then unleashed his most powerful move, a mock tornado. Kirby and Adeline both got caught in it, and were launched far off to the edge of the arena. They had taken a lot of damage, but they weren't out yet. Kirby then held up his sword and Adeline created a drawing of a thunder cloud with a single eye, Krako, and struck the sword with lightning. To everyone except for the Star Allies' surprise, the electricity was absorbed into the sword and it became an electric sword, or as Kirby called it, Zap's sword. Kaminari certainly liked the Zap sword. As Kirby and Adeline kept clashing, Meta Knight was slowly taking damage. The Zap sword was providing extra power with every strike. The more they clash, the more Meta Knight gets zapped. Eventually, Meta Knight was on the verge of defeat, and with one last slash, Kirby had won and cut Meta Knight's mask in half, surprising everyone before Meta Knight reached down and got out another mask to put on. Meta Knight, well done, Kirby. Now class, that is all for today. Apart from Izumi, there were no casualties. It appears as though Almight has left. Well, class dismissed. It's time to leave. Afterwards, everyone left. The Star Allies all met up with each other as they explained about their heroics classes. Meanwhile with Izumi, am I in love with Bandy? 1B versus DDD and Daroche. Let's go to 1B's side of the story. Our story is a little different. We start out with the 1B Star Allies chatting with their classmates. With Marx countering all of Setsuna's attempts to mess with him by flirting, Rick teaching Pony Japanese, Kain speaking with Monoma about feeling equal to others, Taranza and Sectonia talking to Crowaro about finding the courage to ask out Komori because they can see that he has a crush on her, Flamberge and Kamakiri arguing with each other, Zan Partisan speaking to Kendo about what it takes to be a leader, and Suzy speaking to Kodai about showing more emotion. Then, well, looks like you're having a delightful time chatting with each other. The class looked in the direction of the voice, and saw that DDD was in their classroom. DDD, well, now that everyone has quieted down, it's time to introduce myself. I'm DDD. The one who knows how to clobber people properly. Don't forget about me. The class turned around and were met with Daroche. Daroche, hello 1B. I am Daroche. And DDD and I are your heroics class teachers. DDD, now come along. It's time to get your hero suits and meet up at Training Ground Alpha. And so Class 1B did just that. Soon, everyone arrived in their hero costumes. DDD, alright class. For today's exercise, you are going to learn about the power of teamwork. Kamakiri, what are you talking about? Heroes are always working alone and always get the job done. Daroche, not true. Sure, you may think that, but in reality, the jobs can be done a lot faster, safer, and more efficiently when you work as a team. Kamakiri, name me one pro hero that has worked with others. DDD easy. The Wild Hussycats. They are a team of 4 heroes who always work together. On top of that, there is the Waterhouse duo that, well, I'm sure you've heard. But I digress. The point is, heroes do a lot better when teaming up with others. And that's what we're going to do. For this exercise, it will be 2 rounds of a 14-on-1 match. 1B 14-on-1? Isn't that unfair for the one person? Daroche, we didn't say who you'll be facing though. Now for the teams. Team 1, Rick, Suzy, Tsubiraba, Tokage, Shota, Fukidashi, Sectonia, Bando, Komori, Flamberge, Shishida, Kaibara, Owaze, and Kain. Team 2, Zan Partisan, Kurwaro, Shiozaki, Marks, Kamakiri, Tetsu, Taranza, Rin, Kodai, Monoma, Hananuki, Kendo, and Pony. DDD, alright. Team 1 will be facing me and Team 2 will be facing Daroche. Team 2 wasn't concerned about Daroche because they had only heard of him via being told that he can teleport about a few centimeters at a time. But most of Team 1 was very concerned because they had heard of how strong DDD is. Daroche, now. First up will be Team 2 facing off against me. Get prepared, Kamakiri. We got this in the bag. 14 against one dude with a weak teleportation quirk? Way too easy, Zan Partisan. Just because his teleportation quirk isn't all that useful doesn't mean he'll be easy to defeat. He prefers to fight with brains rather than brawn. Tetsu, seriously? That's so manly. Marks, what are you? The son of Elfman, or something. Marks then started laughing, only get smacked on the head by Tetsu. Marks, how? Can't you take a joke? Daroche, shall we begin? 1B, hi. And so they went to an area where they could fight safely. DDD, one more thing. As heroes, you have to keep the property damage to a minimum. It could cause problems in the future if we aren't careful of our surroundings. Otherwise, you could end up like those people who died while playing Pokemon Go for not being aware of their surroundings, like the loading screen tells you. Flamberge, really? You're going with that as an example? DDD, yes I am. Deal with it. Now, let the battle begin. Daroche would start with teleporting around the area, confusing the team on where to aim until Daroche appeared right behind Monoma. Daroche, hi. Monoma, what the? Monoma was then hit by Daroche's triple star. But not before touching him. Monoma, gah. No matter. Now that I touched you, I can use that cane quirk thing as well. Marks, Monoma, that's a weapon. Not a quirk. Monoma, what? Daroche, it is indeed true, Monoma. The triple star cane is a weapon that I have in my possession. And it's not the only one. He uses his ice cane and freezes Monoma solid. DDD. Monoma is out unless his teammates can break him free. Tetsu, yikes. You weren't kidding when you said he uses brain instead of brawn. Kamakiri, what do we do? As the class was about to panic, Zan Partisan spoke up. Zan Partisan, everyone calm down and listen to me. Daroche may be covered in both short and long range, but he has nothing to protect him from the back. Only the front. Marks. You and Kurwaro must hide in the shadows and sneak behind him. Taranza. You create everywhere around the block to limit Daroche's movement. Even if he can only teleport a few centimeters at a time, the fact is that he can still teleport out of certain attacks, so we want to make sure he's limited to where he can actually teleport. Hananuki. Soften the ice that Monoma is trapped in so he can help us out. If the ice is softened, the water molecules should start to move, and the ice will melt. Shiozaki. If Daroche tries to use his triple star cane again, use your vines to protect us. Kodai. You see that star left over from the triple star cane? Use your quirk on it to make it the size of a shield. If Daroche tries to use his ice cane, use it to protect us. If Shiozaki tries to shield us from the ice cane, her vines might be destroyed. We can't take that risk. Tetsu. If Daroche's attacks aim for any of the buildings, I need you to shield the buildings. We have to treat this test like the real deal. And if people are inside these buildings, we can't let them be damaged. Rin. You too. Tetsu can't be at every building at one time. And since you can shoot your scales, if things are too far away, you can still stop them. Kendo. Daroche might bring out some of his bombs. I want you to pick them up, and when they are about to explode, throw them into the air so that no one can get hurt by the bombs. Pony. Use your horn cannons to keep Daroche constantly on the move. He can't teleport and attack at the same time. Kamakiri. And what about you and me, Zan Partisan? I'll get to that after Monoma is freed. Hananuki then did what Zan Partisan told him to do, and just like that, Monoma was freed. Monoma, so you have a plan? Zan Partisan, yes. Here is what you shall do. You will copy Kamakiri's quirk. Monoma, why? Kamakiri, HUI. Monoma, I meant why specifically yours. Zan Partisan, I will show you. But first, follow what I ask of you. Monoma then copies Kamakiri's quirk. Zan Partisan, now, raise your blades. The two boys did just that, but they didn't know why until Zan Partisan struck the blades with her lighting and they both became zap swords. Monoma and Kamakiri. WHOH. Zan Partisan. Alright team. Let's put our plan into action. And so the team did what Zan Partisan said. They were able to corner Deroche and had him on the ropes. Some of his triple star swings were aimed for the buildings but were either blocked or deflected. Eventually, Deroche ended up getting continuously trapped in Tyranza's webs, no matter where he teleported. Zan Partisan, Monoma, Kamakiri finished the job, and then Monoma and Kamakiri struck Deroche with everything they had and he fell unconscious. DDD, and that's it. The students win. Everyone was celebrating for this victory. Even Deroche, who had woken up. Deroche, I'm proud of you all. You managed to defeat me. DDD. Well, now that the first round is finished, it's time for the next round. The other team's sweat dropped. After all they just saw, they had completely forgotten about their upcoming fight with DDD. We now go to the other area where the other team is about to fight DDD. DDD. Before we start, I need to get something real quick. DDD then left. This confused most students. Of course, the Star Allies knew what was going to happen. 5 minutes later, DDD, here I am. Class 1B, ah crud. DDD, what? Gotta look the part. So let's get started. DDD started off the fight by swinging his hammer around faster than anyone has ever seen. Team 1 barely dodged. However, DDD looked to have gotten rather dizzy from the attack, so that gave them time to come up with a plan. Suzy, I know what to do. Here's the plan. Bondo. If DDD tries that attack again, I need you to use your quirk and aim for his legs. He usually only focuses on close combat, so this will keep him from using most of his attacks. Suburaba. If DDD tries to use his only long-ranged attacks, your job is to use your quirk to block them. His long-ranged attacks are on the weaker side, so it shouldn't be a problem. Komori. Make DDD's hammer grow mushrooms to reduce the damage from being struck by the hammer. Fukidashi. Make that boing sound effect so that if we get knocked into the buildings, we won't cause damage. Yanagi. DDD's special hammer can shoot out missiles when he does that. Send them right back. Shishida. Protect any buildings with the possibility of getting destroyed. We want to avoid casualties. Tokage. I want you to use your quirk to give my business suit more power. Kaibara. Use your drill quirk to make a tunnel for us to move around and so we can sneak by DDD. Aways, in case we fail at protecting some of the buildings, you must use your quirk to repair them quickly. Shota. There is bound to be a bunch of small objects to use your quirk on. Use them. Flamberge. When the tunnels are made, keep track of where DDD is and heat up the ground to keep him from focusing. Kain. You use your quirk to make Rick into a Rick curling to give us a head start on the plan. And Sectonia. Help Aways with the repairs. Ready team? All high. They put their plan into action. As soon as DDD was no longer dizzy, he got a face full of a splash Rick curling. While he was distracted, his hammer got covered in spores. He managed to land some hits on the others, but he had a hard time focusing on his moves because the ground kept on burning up, and he was getting pelted by stones that were moving fast enough to actually cause damage. Eventually, he tried his spinning move but got caught in Bondo's trap. He tried shooting his missiles, but most of them were sent, as Yanagi put it, right back at ya. The ones that Yanagi didn't use her quirk on managed to hit some buildings or Shishida, who was protecting some of them. Luckily, Aways and Sectonia were quick to reduce the damage. When DDD tried using his only move he had left at his disposal, Lightning, Tsubiraba's solid air quirk stopped it. After that, he was met with a lizard tail splitter punch by Suzy's business suit, knocking him out and winning the match. Deroche, congratulations students. You have beaten us in battle. Now tell me, if you had fought alone, would the end result have been the same? As 1B talked about it, they realized why teamwork was so important. Kamakiri, I apologize for doubting today's lesson. You were right. Teamwork is very important. DMK was also right. Teamwork is the second best way to defeat your enemy. DDD, no worries. This is school. You are bound to make a mistake or two while here. The important thing is that you learn from all this, and go beyond. Plus Ultra. And so class came to an end and the 1B star allies met up with the 1A star allies as they made their way to the lore. Not knowing what the next day would bring them, choosing class rep in USJ. Prologue. We open this chapter during the school day. Class 1A is talking with each other after having avoided the media. Mina, seriously, Izumi, calm down. And yes, I think I might have fallen for Bandy. I can't really think of any reason for me to not like him. He's cute, caring, and just wants to help people like he did with me. I can't help but think that I have feelings for him, Bakugo, tch. He's just some quirkless loser like Deku. Izumi, shut up. This caught Magolor's attention. Izumi, it's because of us that I lost my brother. I wanted to commit suicide. This shocked everyone except Bandy. Magolor, what? Why, Izumi, the guilt of losing my brother is eating me alive. I wanted to kill myself after yesterday's training exercise. I would have done so if Bandy didn't talk to me. Even after he learned about what I did, sniff, he still helped me. Todoroki, I can't say that I blame her. I wanted to do so too. Magolor, thank you, Bandy. I don't know what I would do if it weren't for you being my Izumi's battle partner. Bandy, oh no. I didn't do much. Kirby, you slapped Izumi and then snapped at her for such a stupid idea. I think you did plenty. Francisca, he's right. You don't have to be so modest. Aizawa, alright everyone. Quiet down. Everyone shuts up and starts to listen. Aizawa, I've read over your battle reviews, and I must say, most of you have surprised me. I feel as though most of you are on your way towards redemption. But that's not for me to decide. That's up to Izuku. However, there's one person who has been kept in my expectations. Bakugo, I'd say I'm disappointed in you, but that doesn't really matter to you. So I won't even bother. Anyways, we have a special assignment today. Everyone was worried that it would be similar to the first day of school until it's time for you to pick a class representative and vice class representative. Everyone know good. It's just normal school stuff. Aizawa. But before we do that, we now have a new student in 1A. Come on in. Shinso, hello. My name is Hitoshi Shinso. It is nice to meet you. Francisca, that's the cute purple-haired boy from the entrance exam. Yes. Aizawa saw her reaction and smirked, but nobody noticed. Aizawa, oh. This is going to be fun. Too bad Emi's not here to see what I'm about to start. Shinso, your seat will be right next to Francisca. Please take your seat. Hitoshi, small blush, oh okay. Hitoshi then sat down in his seat. Francisca, oh I hit the jackpot. Wait till Flamberge and Zon Partisan hear about this. It's great to see you again, Shinso. Shinso, yeah? It's great to see you again too. Magolor, you two know each other? Francisca, we met at the entrance exam. Kirby, cool. Hey Shinso? What's your quirk? Hitoshi looked a little nervous. But then Francisca put her hand on his shoulder. Francisca, don't worry. They won't judge you for it. Well, they will, but not in a negative way. I promise. Hitoshi looked into her beautiful blue eyes and blushed a little before smiling. Hitoshi, alright. He then turns to Kirby and Magolor, who was also interested. No surprise about that. Hitoshi, my quirk is called brainwashing. If someone responds to me, I can control their minds. Kirby and Magolor, so cool. Izumi, the way those two said that, reminds me of Izuku. Maybe, no. I won't follow through what I tried to do before. Bandy wouldn't want that. Izuku wouldn't want that. I have to keep going and become a hero to everyone, no matter their status. That's the only way I can make up for what I've done. Hitoshi, you don't think it's villainous? Magolor, of course not. There were superheroes in the pre-Quirk era that had mind control powers anyways. I mean, look at Doctor Strange. He has mind control powers but is still able to use them for good. It's not the powers that make people villains or heroes. It's how they use them. You could use it to force a criminal to surrender. Use it for interrogations. Use it on bystanders to move out of the way so that they won't get caught in the crossfire of villain attacks. Kirby, exactly. Besides, we have two friends who are actually quirkless, and one of our friends happens to have what people consider to be, as a villainous quirk. Who's to say that we will treat you differently? Hitoshi smiled and thanked them. Adeline, excuse me? How are we going to decide who the class rep and vice rep will be? You will all vote for it. Most of you have known each other for a while, so it's completely acceptable. However, you cannot vote for yourself. This is about who you shall trust with all of this. So start voting. After everyone was done voting, Aizawa discovered that all but Bakugo, Bandy, and Hitoshi had voted for Bandy. Of course, Bakugo voted for himself, despite what Ku had said earlier, and Francisca got 2 votes. Bandy, Why do I have so many votes? Magolor, I think it's because of what you did during the battle exercise. Francisca, I wonder who voted for me. Bandy, I did. I figured you would be the perfect candidate because you'd get along with many people. Francisca, thank you, Bandy. Hitoshi, I'd best keep my vote to myself. Aizawa, alright. So Bandy is the class rep while Francisca is the vice representative. Now let's start the class. Class went on as normal. Then came lunch. Everyone was chatting among others. Zon Partisan, congratulations on getting to be class rep and vice rep. You too. I am also class rep. Susie, and I got to be vice rep. Bandy, thanks. But I'm not sure if I'm cut out to be class rep. Magolor, you'll do great, Bandy. It's your kindness and trustworthy personality that got you to be class representative. I know you can do it. Bandy, then. That's when an alarm went off. Disclaimer, I've never played TF2. But I always hear this song whenever I read this part in fanfics. Magolor, what's going on? Magolor was asking this to a random student from General Studies. Nago, a level 3 security alert. I've never seen this happen. Everyone started to rush towards the exit, but Bandy noticed after he got shoved into the window that it was just the media outside. Bandy, everyone. It's just the ga. They can't hear me. I can barely hear myself. What do I do? Bandy then sees Izumi right in front of him. He then recalls what Magolor said about Izumi. Magolor. Izumi has a powerful telekinesis quirk. She got it from my mother, who could use it to attract small things towards her, including skin cells. Bandy, Izumi. Izumi turns around and looks at Bandy. Bandy, I need your help. Use your telekinesis quirk and lift me to the emergency exit sign so that I can deliver a message. Izumi, alright. Got it. Izumi then lifted Bandy up to the emergency exit sign as he grabbed the railings. Bandy, it's now or never. Bandy then screamed as loud as he could. Bandy, everyone calm down. Everyone then stopped and looked up at Bandy. Bandy, it's just the media outside. We can handle way worse things than this. We are UA students. We must act like it and calmly walk out in straight lines. Not like this. If we do, then we will all get seriously hurt. Everyone was stunned by this speech. But they couldn't deny that Bandy was right. So everyone formed into straight lines and made their way out. Francisca, you see Bandy? You do have what it takes. Bandy, gosh. I guess you're right. I'll do my best to keep up the good work. Time skip. Brought to you by Eri playing with the squeaks. The class was still talking about the incident during lunch when Aizawa and Meta Knight walked in. Aizawa, alright class. We are going to practice rescue hero work today. There will be 5 teachers joining you. Me, Meta Knight, Almight DDD, who is one of the heroics teachers for Class 1B, and one other hero. Meta Knight, Class 1B shall be joining you on this training regiment as well. So get along well. Also, for this exercise, you are allowed to wear your hero costumes. But you are not yet used to them, so be wary. After that announcement, everyone got into their hero suits and left for the bus where Class 1B was. Ida, excuse me, class rep? Bandy, please. Call me Bandy. Ida, alright. Bandy, don't you think you should organize your classmates' seating arrangements on the bus? Bandy, it might not be that kind of bus. Besides, I'm still pretty new to this leader thing. Honestly, I'm a little nervous. Ida, I see. That is completely understandable. I apologize for my rudeness. Flamberge, engine boy, you need to loosen up a little. This isn't the military. Ida, my apologies. Squish this puke. Marks, bah ha 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 ha. You fell for my fake puke prank. Ha 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 ha. Marks was then clobbered by DDD. DDD, you know the rules, Marks. Pranking people is only for after school. Marks, oops. My bad. I just thought he should get a little taste of humor. Ida let out a small chuckle. Ida, maybe you could teach me a little about being carefree after school? Marks, sounds like a plan. I'm Marks. Ida, I'm Tenya Ida. After that conversation, everyone got on the buses. Zon Partisan sat with Flamberge. Kirby sat with Ribbon. Bandy sat with Izumi. Rick sat with Pony. Kine sat with Susie. Francisca sat with Hitoshi. Ida sat with Marks. Magolor sat with Adeline. And Taranza sat with Sectonia. Mina noticed that Kirby and Ribbon were holding hands. Izumi was blushing at being close to Bandy. Magolor and Adeline were cuddling, and Taranza and Sectonia were sleeping with each other. She went full-on fangirl mode and started writing in her shipping book. Mina, so we have Kirby x Ribbon, Bandy x Izumi, Magolor x Adeline, and Taranza x Sectonia. Marks, so the key to being more relaxed is to not sweat the small stuff. If someone is sitting in one of the desks, just let it go. It's not causing you any problems. Let them deal with it. Someone is eating too much sugar? Let it go. It's their health, not yours. If we are talking about serious problems like bullying or villainy attacks, that's when we should intervene. That kind of stuff needs to be dealt with. You got all that? Ida, yes. Thank you for the advice. Marks, no prob. Being carefree can lead you to be a bit more popular. But more importantly, it relieves stress. As they talked, they eventually arrived at the USJ, where the Pro Hero 13 was waiting for them. 13. Hello, students. I am the Rescue Hero 13. I hope you all are ready for the unforeseen simulation joint. Gooey, I thought it was Universal Studios Japan. Everyone's sweat dropped at that comment. 13. No, it's not that. DDD. Where's the musclehead? 13. Apparently, he did too much hero time and is not able to join us. Aizawa. That man is the height of irresponsibility. Meta Knight. We mustn't wait for him. This is not some villain fight starring that buffoon. She then took them inside the USJ and began to explain how quirks can be deadly. This made the tormentors, except for Bakugo, tense up because of what they've done. Before the exercise could start, however, a purple portal opened and out came a bunch of different people. Kirishima, hey, I thought this was a rescue training exercise. Suzy, my scanners show that these people all have criminal records. This is not fake. Those are real villains. Finally, out came a blue-haired guy who was accompanied by a weird bird monster and a misty man. Where is he? I put all this effort into bringing him here, and Almight hasn't even shown up. There must have been a change of schedules. Tamura Garaki. Tamura, well, maybe if we kill a few kids, he'll show up. Meanwhile, all for one, I feel as though Izuku is going to be in deep trouble. Nana, I wouldn't worry about him. Even before he got his magic powers, he was incredibly strong. I'm certain that whatever danger he is in, he can handle it. All for one, as his father, it is my job to worry about him. But I can see where you are coming from. I have faith in him. Good luck, son. USJ Part 1 split up. We start at where we left off with the villains that have suddenly appeared in the USJ. Aizawa, a villain attack? Here? Now? But why? Meta Knight, perhaps the break-in was a distraction. So that they could find out when this was happening. So that they could catch us off guard. DDD, okay. Here's the plan. 13 and I will protect the students. Meta Knight. You and Eraserhead are to fight the villains. Got that? Aizawa and Meta Knight, got it. Aizawa, let's go. Meta Knight. Meta Knight, yes. Let's. Aizawa and Meta Knight jumped down. Kaminari, hey wait. Kirby, don't worry. They'll be fine. Victor, hey. Who are these two? I thought that the only heroes would be Almight, DDD, and 13. Needlehair, it doesn't matter. They are nothing to worry about. Get ready to attack. That's when Aizawa's quirk activated and no one could use their quirks. Victor, huh? Why can't I shoot my bullets? Meta Knight then attacked Victor with a sword beam. Muscle Man, idiots. That's Eraserhead. He can erase your quirk just by looking at you. Steel Bulwark, cancellation? Bet you can't erase the quirk of a mutant type like me. Aizawa, yeah, you're right. I can't. Aizawa then punches Steel Bulwark and flings him across the area with his capture weapon. Meta Knight. But a villain like you is only dangerous if he gets close enough. Aizawa, good thing I've taken precautions to make sure that doesn't happen. Meta Knight continues to attack the villains. Martial Hair, crap. I just realized. That's the number 2 hero, Meta Knight. The one who beat Endeavor. Sickle Claw, well, we are trying to kill the number 1 hero. So handling him shouldn't be. Meta Knight then uses his dimensional cape to vanish. Sickle Claw, where did he? Meta Knight then appeared behind him and struck him with a blow from his sword on its side to refrain from killing him. Sickle Claw, I didn't even get to fly. Meta Knight, stay down. Sickle Claw, gah. Tamura, there they go. Trying to intimidate us. The most annoying thing about dealing with pros is when they live up to all their hype. Kaminari, wow. Kirby, see? I told you. They've got this. DDD, kids, we should leave before we get caught in any crossfires. Both classes, Bakugo High. Just as they were about to leave, where do you think you're going? Aizawa, damn. I blinked and the guy that looked like the most trouble got away. We are the League of Villains. I know it's impolite, but we have taken the liberty of crashing your session. And besides, isn't this fitting for Almight, the symbol of peace, to take his last moments of life? Everyone, they plan to kill Almight? 13 and DDD, everyone. Get behind us. Most students followed through. Even Gui and Flamberge. Bakugo, however, just rushed at him and exploded him. Bakugo, yeah right. This purple bastard is no match for me. You live up to your school's reputation. But I can't have you ruining our plans. Apologies. But I must separate you all. Bakugo was caught off guard by that as the mist villain proceeded to trap most of the students in domes. Thanks to DDD's inhale ability that he learned from Kirby, he was able to get most of the students from Class 1B out. While 13 was able to rescue Sato, Ida, Siro, Uraraka, Shoji, and Mina. Everyone else, however, got split up. Including all the star allies: Shipwreck Zone, Magolor, Izumi, Ajiri, Shinso, Kain, and Adeline. Fire Zone, Flamberge, Rick, Ojiro, and Ribbon. Mountain Zone, Kaminari, Yayorozu, Jiro, Marks, Francisca, and Suzy. Collapse Zone, Bakugo, Kirishima, Sectonia, and Taranza. Windstorm Zone, Tokoemi, Koda, Zan Partizan, and Gui. Landslide Zone, Kirby, Hagakure, Todoroki, and Bandy. Shipwreck Zone. As everyone was falling down to the water, Magolor managed to grab everyone and slowly got them to the shipwreck zone. Magolor, phew. That was hard to do. It's hard to carry 5 people. Shinso, those villains seemed to know what they were doing. Splitting us up to take us down separately. Not a bad plan. Izumi, anyone have an idea on what to do? Magolor, if have a thought. Ajiri, what is it? Ribbit, Magolor, well, the fact that they sent you, Ajiri, who has a frog quirk, here proves that they don't know what our quirks are. Otherwise, you and Kain would be sent into the fire zone or something. Kain, he has a point. We'd better talk about our quirks then. Izumi, okay, I'll go first. My quirk has 2 functions. I am able to use powerful telekinesis, and I am able to increase my physical strength. But I just discovered this asset. So I can't control it, and every time I use it my limbs break. Ajiri, I can do pretty much anything that a frog can. I can stick to walls, jump really high, stretch my tongue up to 20 meters, and I can spit out my stomach to clean it. That's not very useful. Finally, I can secrete mucus with different, controlled effects: itch-inducing, scent-masking, and paralysis. Kain and Adeline, okay, that last part is a bit gross. Hitoshi, my quirk is brainwashing. If a person responds to me, I can control their minds. However, they will only be able to follow simple commands. It also only works on living things. Which is why I didn't do well in the entrance exams until Blushes Francisca came and gave me her soda squirter. Izumi. Soda squirter? Kain, she drinks a lot of soda. Izumi, Adeline, my quirk is pretty straightforward. I can make whatever I paint come to life. However, they are still made out of paint, so they can be washed away by water, so I'm at a disadvantage. Magolor, my quirk has many uses. I can generate electric spheres, or as I like to call them, my magic spheres, summon what I like to call my revolution flames, summon deadly needles, create a magic barrier that can nullify 5 hits at a time, charge in a cloak of wind which I can make burst if I want to, which I call my Magolor surge, temporarily vanish into another plane of existence and reappear in a different location if I want to. Shoot a giant beam of energy, which I call my Magolor cannon, summon a black hole that can suck up my enemies but won't kill them unless I want them to die, levitate, and finally, summon a giant sword, or as I like to call it, my ultra sword. Izumi, Ajiri, and Hitoshi just stared at Magolor dumbfounded. Hitoshi, that is a lot of things you can do. Ajiri, incredible. Ribbit, Izumi, how come you didn't use it all during the battle training though? Magolor, if I did, then a lot of damage would have been done to the building, and you saw what happened with Bakugo. Izumi, fair point. You know, if I had just supported my twin brother's dream, I'm sure he would be here right now, mumbling and writing in his notebook. Izumi gives a sad smile. Magolor, maybe I should tell her. No. Now is not the time. Maybe later. Ajiri, what about you, Kain? Kain, I think that I'm our best bet here. You see, my quirk allows me to do everything a fish can. But there is a couple other facets to my quirk. I can make very sturdy bubble underwater so that people won't drown. But the most impressive part about my quirk is that I'm able to freeze things. However, my quirk is only useful underwater. When on land, I have to fight Quirkless. Luckily, there is a large body of water. Don't worry. I got this. Kain then jumps into the water. Hanzo, wow. What an idiot. Kain, we'll see about that. Kain then proceeded to freeze the entire body of water, encasing everyone in ice. Of course, Kain left a small part of the water unfrozen so he could get out. Kain, alright guys. Let's go. Everyone, hi! The gang then left for the main area. Collapse Zone, Bakugo, Kirishima, Taranza, and Sectonia were fighting hordes of villains. Luckily, the 4 students were able to hold their own. Taranza and Sectonia would trap as many villains as they could, in webs. Whenever they did that, Bakugo and Kirishima would wail in on them. Taranza, I believe that's all of them. We'd better get going. Bakugo, I'm going to kill that smoky bastard. Sectonia, why must this dude have such a superiority complex? After that, they left and went off to the main area. Windstorm Zone, Tokoimi, Koda, Zan Partisan, and Gui were able to deal with the villains rather easily. Koda, you guys are pretty powerful. I wish I could do something, but there are no animal around here. Zan Partisan, there is more to being a hero than a quirk. You saw how Eraserhead fought those villains. He fought like someone who was quirkless. As long as you have good fighting skills and a pure heart, it doesn't matter what your quirk is. Koda was moved by this speech. He had come to see Zan Partisan as a kind of mentor. She had taught him so much, and he wasn't going to back down. Koda, right. Let's keep going. Gui, I'll take care of the last villain. Mach Matter Laser. Gui then blasted the villain and he passed out. Gui, let's head to the main entrance. They then left for the main entrance. Fire Zone. Ribbon was blasting as many villains as she could, with her crystal gun, while also flying to find the exit. Ojiro and Flamberge were fighting the villains. Luckily, Flamberge was in her element. Those villains didn't stand a chance. Rick was making sure to block the villain's path by creating more fire. He could, of course, turn into a boulder and stomp the fires out. Ribbon, guys. Follow me. I found the exit. The 3 students then followed Ribbon back to the main area. Mountain Zone. Kaminari, Yaoyorozu, Jiro, Marx, Francisca, and Suzy have been fighting against many villains. However, Marx had seemingly disappeared. Kaminari, I'm counting on you guys. Suzy, I can help with your control issue. Here. Kaminari, what's this? Suzy, it's a special item that shoots out special discs that can latch on to anyone or anything. These discs are designed to draw in electricity. This will give you more control over your quirk. Kaminari, wow. That's incredible. Yaoyorozu, where did you get that? Suzy, I built it myself. Before I met my friends, I would spend all my time working on inventions for other heroes to use. Francisca, Suzy does happen to be a genius. Jiro, I'm impressed. Well, come on, Jamming Ace. Put it on. Kaminari would then put it on, and with the help of the aiming gear, the team of 5 managed to take down all the villains. Kaminari, all right. Thanks, Suzy. This gear was really helpful, ga. Tesla, stay back. Or else I'll kill him. And trust me, I don't want to kill a fellow electric type user. Jiro, Francisca, Suzy, and Yaoyorozu, crap. What do we do? As the 5 were worrying for each other, Marx suddenly popped out of the ground, right below Tesla. Marx, peek boo, Tesla, GH. Tesla let go of Kaminari and was sent into the air. To which Marx blasted him with his Marx cannon. Yeah. He went unconscious after that. Marx, you guys okay? Kaminari, yeah. Thanks to you. Suzy, I never thought I'd be so happy to see you in all my life. Marx, I'll take that as a compliment. Now let's go. The way back to the main area isn't far from here. And so, the 6 students went off to the main area. Landslide Zone. Todoroki, Hagakure, Kirby and Bandy had managed to incapacitate many villains. The villains had no idea just how powerful Kirby was. Todoroki had frozen a bunch of villains and told them that he would release them if they told him how they were planning to kill Almight. To which they told him. Now they were making their way back to the main area. This next conversation will only be in whispers. Kirby, hey, Bandy? Todoroki looks like he is on the verge of tears. Bandy, you're right. He looks as depressed as Izumi. He must really regret his actions if he looks this guilty. Kirby, we should talk to him one day. But that will have to wait until after this whole catastrophe. Bandee agreed. Hagakure heard what they had said. Hagakure, how do they know about his past? The 4 students made their way back to the main area. But no one was going to be prepared for what was going to happen. USJ Part 2. Truth revealed in a surprise. Main area. We go back to where the remaining students and teachers are. Point 13 is currently subduing the Mist villain. However, black hole. A very useful quirk. However, I cannot allow this to continue. The Mist villain then opened up a warp gate right behind her. Luckily, DDD noticed and managed to save 13 before it was too late by tackling her. How noble. I wouldn't expect any less from the kingly DDD. DDD, are you alright 13? 13, yeah. Thanks. Crap. He knows how to turn my quirk against myself. DDD, no worries. I can handle him. Ida? Run to the exit. Now, Ida, yes DDD-sensei. Ida then used his quirk to dash to the door. The Most villain tried to stop him, but then DDD started inhaling the Mist villain. You think that will stop me? The Mist villain then made another warp gate. Well, he tried. DDD's inhale was so strong, the Mist villain was unable to make a warp gate in time. What? Crap. His inhale is too strong. Ida then managed to make his way outside. Damn. I failed. I must inform Tamura. The Mist villain then made his way back to Tamura by making a portal behind him, where DDD couldn't inhale it until he stepped through. DDD, damn. He got away. At least backup is on the way. With Magolor, the group of 6 had decided to watch Aizawa and Meta Knight fight to see if they could lighten the load, but they weren't the only ones watching. Everyone in the USJ was watching the fight with the same intention. Except for the ones with the Most villain, since this is happening while they are against him. With Aizawa and Meta Knight, Tamura was muttering to himself. Tamura, first it was 23 second. Aizawa, final boss. Aizawa then threw his scarf at Tamura, who caught it while still muttering to himself. Tamura, then it was 24 seconds. Meta Knight kept on attacking the remaining villains as Aizawa rushed over to Tamura. Tamura, then 20. Then 17. Aizawa then elbowed him only for him to have caught it. This shocked everyone watching. Tamura, it was hard to see because you kept on moving around. But I found your tell. It's your hair. When it falls, it means that you stopped using your quirk. You're having to blink more often. Aizawa's arm then froze up as Meta Knight was surprised that Tamura figured it out. Tamura, don't push yourself, Eraserhead. You just might fall apart. Aizawa's skin started to decay. Meta Knight, so that's his quirk. It looks like when he touches something with all of his fingers, it starts to decay. Throughout the past year of hanging out with Magolor, Meta Knight learned a few things about analyzing stuff. Tamura, your quirk isn't suited for fighting long fights against a large group, is it? Isn't this much different from your usual job? Meta Knight then rushed forward. Tamura, what you're good at is a short fight after a surprise attack, right? Even so, you jumped right in to fight us from the front. Was that to put your students at ease? Meta Knight let loose a sword beam at Tamura, knocking him back and freeing Aizawa. Tamura, wow. Meta Knight, Eraserhead, you both are so cool. By the way, heroes, I'm not the final boss. Meet the anti-symbol of peace, Nomu. He was bioengineered to destroy Almight. Meta Knight, wait, why Nomu instead of Aesop? I mean, anti-symbol of peace is ASOP, not NOMU. After that, the Nomu started attacking Aizawa and Meta Knight. It was horrifying. Every time Meta Knight chopped off a limb, it just grew back immediately. Everyone missed her. Aizawa/Dad. Meta Knight. The Nomu had then grabbed their faces and slammed them into the ground, and then twisted their arms in a horrendous way. Aizawa screamed in pain, but Meta Knight kept calm. Aizawa, it's like he's breaking a twig. I'm sure I erased his quirk. That means that he is just that strong. Nomu then lifted up their heads. Meta Knight, he's as strong as Almight. The Nomu then slammed their heads onto the ground. Hard. That's when the Mist villain appeared again. Tamura Garaki. Tamura, Kurogyri, did you kill 13? Kurogyri. I'm afraid that DDD saved her and managed to subdue me long enough for one of the students to escape. Tamura, huh? Kurogyri, if you weren't our escape route, I would turn you to dust. We can't win against dozens of pros. It's game over. Back to the title screen. Let's go home. Everyone, they're going home? Just like that? Everyone was feeling relieved. Until Tamura. But before we go, let's smash some of the symbol of peace's pride. Tamura then rushed over to the shipwreck zone and started to reach for Izumi. Magolor then recalls just what Tamura's quirk did and knew what was about to happen as Tamura grabbed her face. Izumi was frozen in fear, but nothing happened. Tamura then looked behind to see Meta Knight holding the hand of the Noma that was holding Aizawa's head and Aizawa, who had activated his quirk. Tamura, you two really are so cool. Unfortunately, the Nomas slammed Meta Knight's head down into the ground again, and then quickly did the same for Aizawa, knocking them both out for good. Tamura, well, time to say goodbye, brat. Just then, Magolor acted before he could think. Magolor, get your hand off of my sister, now! Magolor cannon! This surprised everyone. Not the sheer power of the Magolor cannon that blasted Tamura away. But, Izumi, what did you see call me? Magolor then sighed. Magolor, I guess there is no hiding it anymore. Yes, Izumi, it's me. Izumi, BBBB brother? Magolor, yes. Class 1A, the one-star allies Magolor, is Izuku/Deku? How can this be? Before Izumi could say anything else, Tamura, ga! You brat! Noma! Kill him! Izuku tried to use his magic barrier, but unfortunately, when it comes to grabbing attacks, the magic barrier does not work. He was then thrown into a boulder, taking lots of damage. 1A and star allies Bakugo Izuku. Izuku was still conscious, but as he stood up, the Noma appeared right in front of him. Tamura, finish him, Noma! The Noma then raised his fist, only to get blasted by a large beam of white light. Everyone, what the? Who did that? I hope you young warriors are alright, because it's time for a fight that you won't want to miss. Everyone looked in surprise to see where the voice was coming from. And it came from a very, very well-known hero. 1A, is that? Tamura, no! No! Not him! Izuku, the Aeon hero, Galacta Knight. USJ Part 3, the Aeon hero, Galacta Knight vs. Noma. Izuku, the Aeon hero, Galacta Knight. Quirk, unknown. He just appeared one day out of nowhere, and has been known as the symbol of power. With strength that not even All Might can defeat. He is the number 3 hero. But this is only because he doesn't really have a personality like All Might pretends to have. So not as many people like him, and some think that he just wants to be a hero so that he can legally fight villains. But no one knows the reason why he became a hero. Nor what his quirk really is. It's a mystery. Galacta Knight, so. This is what the boy with engine legs warned me about. All I see is a mist man, an angry bird ripoff, and a man-child with some weird hand fetish. Tamura, how dare you? And on you. Kill the brat. Galacta Knight, I don't think so. Galacta Knight then moved faster than the eye could see, and appeared right in front of Izuku. Galacta Knight, Mach Tornado. The Noma was the scent flying to the other side of the area. Galacta Knight, I won't allow you to kill anyone. And don't bother justifying your actions. It's just a load of bullshit. You're only doing this because it's fun for you. Tamura, he figured it out rather quickly. Noma then came back, fully healed. Tamura, Noma, take care of Galacta Knight. You are, of course, designed to defeat All Might. Galacta Knight, just because I'm not the number 1 hero, doesn't mean I'm weaker than him. All Might's strength pales in comparison to mine. Tamura, you mustn't underestimate the final boss. Galacta Knight, I'm not. Of course, if Noma here is the final boss, then that makes me the super boss. Tamura, what? Impossible. Galacta Knight, let's just get this fight done and over with so that I can move on to you. Tamura, destroy him, Noma. Noma and Galacta Knight rushed towards each other. The fight was on. Noma tried punching Galacta Knight, but he dodged with ease and impaled Noma with his lance in the stomach. Unfortunately, the Noma regenerated. Galacta Knight, Lightning Strike. Galacta Knight's Lightning Strike zapped the Noma, but it didn't do much. Tamura, fool! Noma has shock absorption and super regeneration. Galacta Knight, how cute. Galacta Knight, let's see how the exposed brain feels about that. The sword beams repeatedly struck Noma's brain as it screeched in horrendous pain. Galacta Knight, not very smart to have its brain exposed. It's a rather vital organ. Tamura, stop cheating. Galacta Knight, cheating? This isn't a video game, you hand fetish. This is a battle of life or death. Tamura, I thought heroes don't kill people. Everyone, unfortunately, he makes a point. Galacta Knight, true. But I know that your Nomu is just a reanimated corpse. Which means it's already dead. Tamura, crap. He knows. Galactonite, Mach Tornado. Galactonite was moving too fast for the Nomu to harm him. But not vice versa. Galactonite kept dealing blow after blow until he finally stopped spinning and got ready for another attack. Galactonite, Spears of the Heart. Many heart spears rained down on Noma, and it was screeching in pain. Izumi, Galactonite is dealing damage to Noma like it's child's play. Izuku, that's not all Izumi. The Noma's regeneration is getting slower and slower. The more damage dealt, the longer it takes to regenerate, until eventually it will run out of steam from regenerating, which will give Galactonite the opportunity to finish the job. Noma managed to land a few hits on Galactonite, but it didn't seem to do anything. Galactonite, you punch like a baby. Galactonite then shot a sharp beam from his shield and cut the Noma's arm clean off. It regenerated, but not fast enough to counter Galactonite's lance that hit the Noma's stomach. Galactonite, time for a light beam. The light beam made contact with Nomu and burned off its lower half. It managed to regenerate, but as it rushed to attack Galactonite, it fell to the ground in exhaustion. Tamura, Nomu? Get up! What are you doing? Galactonite, I knew it. When you told me about its regeneration quirk, I knew it had the same weakness as all regeneration quirks. They all consume stamina. Continuous regeneration will make the body tired and leave them wide open for an attack. And now to finish this thing off, Galactonite then cuts a hole out of time and space as it unleashes into a laser. Galactonite, Dimensional Rift Laser. The laser completely engulfed the Nomu. When it died down, the Nomu was vaporized. Galactonite, and now, Tamura, Garaki and Kurogiri, it's your turn. Tamura, crap. Kurogiri, get us out of here. Kurogiri then used his warp gate and the two of them escaped. Galactonite, as expected. He then turns to face the villains that were still conscious. Galactonite, surrender now, or face the consequences. Needless to say, everyone surrendered for fear of their lives. Almight, have no fear. Because I am Galactonite late. If I hadn't stepped in, you would have lost some students. The villains are over there. Take them in. I'm going to leave. As Galactonite is about to leave, Izumi, hey. Galactonite? Galactonite, yes? Izumi, thank you for saving Izuku. All Might, excuse me? Izumi, crap. What do I dash? Magolor, that's right you asshole. I'm Izuku. And don't even bother talking to me. Come on Izumi. Let's get you to recovery girl. All Might, could that little brat be working for All for One? No. That's ridiculous. He's dead. He must have gotten those powers from somewhere else. As everyone gathered around the front of the USJ building, no one could stop talking about how awesome Galactonite was and how surprising it was to find out that Magolor is really Izuku, who they thought was long gone. Eventually, everyone went home. But Izumi was lost in her thoughts. Izumi, why did he save me? After all I did? Do I really deserve to be saved? I hope to ask him the next time I see him. The Star Allies went back to the lore, where they were greeted by Eri, sleeping with the Squeak Squad. In an unknown location, All for One, it appears that Izuku did incredibly well against the traitor's Noma. I'm proud of him. Nana, I told you there was nothing to worry about. The only question now is, what is going to happen next? His old tormentors now know the truth. Yagi knows the truth. I know, however, that whatever happens next, Izuku will be able to handle it. Forgiveness and 10. It's been a few days since the USJ attack. The school has decided to give everyone the week off after what they went through. Right now, Izuku, Kirby, Bandy, Adeline, and Eri are walking around the block to clear their heads. Then, they spotted someone who Izuku knows very well. Izumi. Izumi felt like she was being watched, so she turned around to see her brother, his girlfriend, his best friend, and her crush. She wanted to say something, but felt as though it would be bad. Izuku, Izumi? Are you alright? Tears started streaming down her face. Izumi, why? Izuku, huh? Why what? Izumi, why did you save me? After everything I did to you? I just can't understand. I deserve to burn in hell for what I did to you. So why didn't you let me turn to dust? And why did you call me your sister? I lost the right to be your sister after I betrayed you for something that was out of your control. Just Sniff, I don't know why you even wanted to save a bitch like me. I don't deserve a wonderful person like you as a brother. Izuku then walked over to Izumi and hugged her. Izumi, please listen to me. I've let go of the hatred I had for you. I saw your actions since the school year started. I can see that you have changed for the better. I saw how guilty you felt. Bandy told me about what you said during the battle trial. The fact that you would actually say that, and mean that, proves to me just how guilty you've been feeling. I don't want you to feel this way. I don't want either of us to feel hatred against you. This is why, and I mean this with all my heart, I forgive you. When Izumi heard those words, she broke down in tears while holding on to Izuku in fear that this was all some twisted dream. Izuku, it's okay Izumi. Just let it all out. Adeline, Kirby, and Bandy couldn't help but smile at the twins hugging it out. Izumi sniffed, thank you, brother. Thank you? Izuku, you're welcome. I'm just glad to have the sister that I cared for back. However, Izumi looked up at Izuku in fear of what he was going to say. But what she heard was not what she was expecting. Izuku, you have to give up one for all to a quirkless person. If you don't, you'll soon die. I know it sounds random and false, but let me explain. Izuku then explained why she had to give one for all up. Izumi, yikes. How much time do I have left? Izuku, how much have you used it? Izumi, just once, during the battle trial. Izuku, then your life force should be depleted only like a year at most. You have plenty of time left. Izumi, oh thank goodness. But there is still a problem. Most quirkless people have committed suicide because of the harsh treatment. Izuku, hey, chin up. Actually, I know the perfect successor. Bandy, you really? Who is it? Izuku then smirks. Izuku, funny you should ask that, Bandy. Because I can't think of a more perfect successor than you. 3, 2, 1, go. Bandy, me? Why me? Izuku, think about it, Bandy. You have a pure and modest heart, whose ego never seems to grow. You are always trying to help people. You make people feel safe and happy. And I could go into more detail, but that would take forever. There is no one more suitable for one for all than you. Bandy, are you sure? Izuku, of course. Adeline, Izuku's right. When I first joined the Star Allies, I was completely down in the dumps. But you would cheer me up by making a delicious cake. You have a pure heart. And that's what the Quirk needs. Kirby, exactly. You always stay focused on your goals and never let your skills go to your head. You're exactly what One for All needs. Izumi, I think so too. If it weren't for you, I never would be reunited with my brother. Bandy, well, if you all think I'm worthy of this quirk, then I would be happy to accept it. So how does it work? Izumi sweat drops. Izumi, well, you have to consume some of my DNA. Everyone's sweat drops. But then, Izuku got a sneaky idea. Bandy, sigh, well, if that's how it works, then I guess I'll have to HUI. Izuku pushed Bandy onto Izumi, and their lips pressed against each other. They also accidentally touched tongues, which allowed the transfer to happen. Bandy and Izumi, AAH. What the heck, Izuku? The two then began chasing Izuku while their faces were redder than tomatoes. Izuku, ha 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 ha. Just gave you a little extra push, Izumi. For the rest of the day, Izuku was running away from the two tomatoes, with Eri, Adeline, and Kirby laughing nonstop. Overall, it was a good day. Sports Festival Part 1, an awkward day and training. The week-long break was over and everyone was back in school. However, things were a little weird. Magolor, strange. Everyone seems to be acting different. Well, except for Bakugo. Izumi, well, can you blame them? I mean, we all thought you followed Bakugo's, and I quote, advice, and killed yourself. We never expected you to come back. And with such amazing quirks. Izuku, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. Izumi, huh? Class 1A overheard this conversation and decided to listen. Izuku, I'm still quirkless. The powers I've used are not quirks. They are actually magic abilities. Class 1A, Bakugo, and the Star Allies, that's so cool. Bakugo, so you're still a quirkless bastard. Aizawa, quiet down class. Aizawa had walked in and looked completely healed. Class 1A MR, Aizawa? You look completely healed. Aizawa, luckily, Adeline painted up a Maxim tomato and that healed me in 2 seconds. She also made one for Meta Knight, so he's fine. Now I know you're all in shock after learning that Magolor is really Izuku, but we have to focus on the fact that your battle isn't over yet. Everyone started to get worried. But then, Aizawa, the UA Sports Festival is coming up. Everyone, why would you scare us like that? Gui, What's the UA Fork Festival? Bakugo, you are such an idiot. Aizawa, it's not his fault. It's a birth defect. He also has dyslexia. Kaminari Gui. You too, Jiro, wait? You have dyslexia, Kaminari? Why didn't you tell us, Kaminari? I was afraid that I'd get bullied. We all know what we did to Izuku for something that was out of his control. Who's to say that I wouldn't be treated the same way for something that was out of my control? Yet in reality, it should have been me bullied. Not him. It wasn't fair for Izuku to get treated this way. I should have done something. I should have at least shared the bullying. Everyone felt ashamed that their bullying led to not only hurting Izuku, but Kaminari as well. Except of course for Bakugo. He didn't care. Aizawa, anyways, Gui, the sports festival is a special event at UA that is streamed all over the country. Many pros watch it to see what this generation of heroes are capable of. After the sports festival, we have internships. The sports festival will allow the pros to see if they want you as their interns. So give it your all. Gui got it. Thanks, Dad. The bell rang and they all went to their classes. It was rather awkward for Izuku since his old tormentors would occasionally glance at Izuku. Before lunch, Class 1C ambushed the exit door to try and scope out the competition. Bakugo would have made a rude remark, but Gui used his scarf to keep his mouth shut by wrapping it around him. For the next 2 weeks, everyone would train their powers. But Bandy was struggling hard. Bandy, I don't get it. How does one even use a quirk? Meta Knight. Perhaps we should call Izumi and ask her. Bandy, wait. I got it. Bandy would then just flex his arm as hard as he could, and his arm began to glow with red veins. He would then release the punch, which caused a massive amount of wind pressure. Unfortunately, his arm broke. Bandy, GAH. The pain is unbearable. Eri, here Uncle Bandy. A Maxi Maximus shrugs a Metamato. Bandy took the Maxim tomato and ate it. His arm was healed up. Bandy, thanks Eri. But I am going to have to learn how to properly control one for all. Izuku, maybe one of the internships can help out with that. Bandy, I hope so. Because the only person we know of who is able to control this is Almight. And we are not going to him. All agreed. Eri, Uncle Bandy. Swear jar. Bandy ah fooey. Everyone laughed at that and continued to train. Finally, it was time for the sports festival to start. After everyone made their way to the court, Midnight announced who the person giving the motivational speech would be. Midnight. And the person who would give the motivational speech is Izuku. Izuku me? Why, Flamberge, I mean, you did get first in the entrance exam, so. Izuku, fair point. Izuku then made his way onto the stage and started to speak. Izuku, I'll make this quick. It's time for us to do our best, show the pros the potential we are capable of, and go beyond, plus ultra. Everyone cheered for that. Midnight then announced that the first course would be the obstacle race. Everyone was getting excited for this. The sports festival was about to begin. Sports Festival Part 2, Obstacle Course. In the announcement box, we have Aizawa and DMK, present Mike, and they're off. Rushing into the battle. DMK, true, but they are about to meet their first challenge, getting through the gate. Everyone was getting cramped into the walls. There were too many people inside. Luckily, most of the star allies had plans. Izuku, Francisca, Zan Partizan, Taranza, and Sectonia levitate above everyone. Kirby inhaled some air and floats above the crowd. Marks, Gui, and Ribbon fly over them, and Suzy uses her drone to fly over everyone. Since Suzy is quirkless, she is allowed to use her inventions to pass through everyone. Todoroki managed to freeze the area around him so that most people would be stuck. Luckily, thanks to Rick's fire breath, he was able to free himself. Unfortunately, almost everyone else was stuck. Flamberge managed to free herself, of course. And a bunch of other students managed to avoid getting frozen. Unfortunately, Kine and Bandy could not free themselves. Adeline was able to paint up a lighter to melt the ice though. Of course, since this was a race, it was every student for themselves. So the rest of the students were trapped. As Class 1A, 1B, and 2 girls from the support course made their way forward, they were stopped by the 0-pointers. Of course, Todoroki froze the while off balance. Todoroki, I will never use my fire side again. Not after what I did with it. Izuku, everyone. It's falling. Everyone saw that the 0-pointers were falling on them. Luckily, Bandy, who had managed to free himself, ran in and flicked his fingers while using one for all. Bandy, Nutty Noon Bash. The frozen robots were shattering to millions of icy pieces. Bandy, gah! My finger, Adeline, here. Take this Maxim tomato. Bandy took it and ate it. Bandy, thanks. I wish I could use my spear. Since Bandy has a quirk now, he cannot use his weapon since it has nothing to do with One for All. Izuku, we have to keep moving. Magolor surge. Everyone then rushed off. Present Mike, wow! An impressive display of skill done by Bandy. DMK, no kidding. He is a late bloomer, and his power is too much to control. So he sent all that power into his finger. This minimized the injuries taken whilst maximizing the power. Being a hero is about more than pure power. You must be wise about what you do. Cover your weaknesses. And exploit your foes' weaknesses. Present Mike, you're pretty wise. DMK, in any case, we are coming up on the next obstacle. The pitfall. Most of the star allies just floated across the gap. Susie was about to win. Time to show what my babies can do. Susie SIS? Huh. Oh. Susie. It's been a while. How've you been? Susie, pretty good. Didn't expect to see you here. Well, you probably should have. I'm in the support course. Susie, that makes sense. May? Do you know her? May, Ellie. This is my half-sister, Susie. Same mother, different father, Eline O. Nice to meet you, Susie. I'm Eline. But my friends call me Ellie. I'm in the support course with May. Susie, nice to meet you too, Ellie. Ellie then flies off as May uses her babies to get across, while Susie flies off with her drone. Rick and Adeline unfortunately couldn't balance themselves properly and fell down. Luckily, the pit had hundreds of pillows at the bottom. Bandy was able to balance himself and get across. The rest of the students managed to get across. Then came the final obstacle. Present Mike, be careful, young heroes. This is a minefield. The blasts aren't that strong though. But they might make you wet your pants. DMK, no one needs to hear that. The remaining star allies flew over the minefields with incredible ease. Except for Bandy, who was falling behind, until he got an idea. Bandy, if I was able to release such power using one of my fingers, would I be able to unleash incredible speed by using one of my toes? It's worth a shot. Bandy then charged up One for All in his left big toe, and unleashed it. Bandy, Onion Ocean Bash. After that, Bandy zoomed off with speed that was faster than Will Kirby. This allowed Bandy to zoom past everyone and win first place, with Izuku in second, Kirby in third, Zahn Partizan in fourth, Flamberge in fifth, Taranza in sixth, Sectonia in seventh, Francisca in eighth, Marx in ninth, Gui in 10th, Ribbon in 11th, and Susie in 12th. But it was a photo finish. About 2 minutes afterwards, the next 30 competitors made it in. 13, Todoroki. 14, Bakugo. 15, Shiozaki. 16, Hananuki. 17, Ida. 18, Tokoyami. 19, Siro. 20, Kirishima. 21, Tetsu. 22, Ojiro. 23, Owaze. 24, Ajiri. 25, Sato. 26, Shoji. 27, Uraraka. 28, Jairozu. 29, Shinso. 30, Eline. 31, Mei. 32, Mina. 33, Koda. 34, Jiro. 35, Kaibara. 36, Tsubiraba. 37, Kaminari. 38, Bondo. 39, Yanagi. 40, Kendo. 41, Shishida. 42, Izumi. Midnight. The top 42 from this qualifying round will move on. But for those who placed lower, don't worry. We've got another way for you to show your stuff. And now the main selection really begins. The press corps going to be jumping out of their seats, so give it all you got. Now on to the second event. I already know what it is, of course, dying in suspense. Next up is a cavalry battle. After Midnight explained the rules and how Bandy was worth 10 million points, Bandy could feel so many death stares that he panicked. But then Izumi put her hand on Bandy's shoulder. Izumi, don't worry, Bandy. I'll help you out. So let's do our best. Bandy, light bless you, thanks. I will. Ever since the kiss, Bandy had started to have feeling for Izumi. But he doesn't know what these feelings are. Bandy, why do I always feel this way when I'm around Izumi? Sports Festival Part 3, Cavalry Battle, Star Alley Teams. Team 1, Bandy, Ryder, Izumi, Eline, and Taranza. Team 2, Shinso, Ryder, Francisca, Tetsu, and Ojiro. Team 3, Uraraka, Ryder, Koda, Owaze, and Hananuki. Team 4, Todoroki, Ryder, Suzy, Ida, and Yayorozu. Team 5, Izuku, Ryder, Subiraba, Kendo, and Mei. Team 6, Sato, Ryder, Yanagi, Sectonia, and Ojiro. Team 7, Bondo, Ryder, Flamberge, Jiro, and Azui. Team 8, Kirishima, Mina, Ribbon, and Kirby, Ryder. Team 9, Zan Partizan, Ryder, Tokoemi, Marks, and Siro. Team 10, Gui, Ryder, Shoji, Shiozaki, and Kaminari. Team 11, Bakugo, Ryder, Kaibara, and Shishida. Since Bakugo has not made a good impression on anyone, the only reason that Kaibara and Shishida joined his team was because if they didn't, they would have forfeited the match. Bandy guys. I still can't control my new quirk. What do I do? Ellie, don't worry. Taranza, Izumi, you two hold Bandy. I got this. They did as they were told, and Ellie turned into a flying paintbrush and painted a rainbow-colored pathway. Bandy, Izumi, and Taranza. Wow, Izumi, what kind of quirk is that? Eline, I can make transform into a flying paintbrush and create a raincow path. But the path is only temporary, and after I make one, it takes time for me to gain the ability to make another one. Now hurry! The team then starts to run up the path. Meanwhile, with Izuku, have a taste of my magic bombs. Izuku shot out magic bombs at different teams to obscure their visions when they blow up. Izuku, quick! Throw me! Kendo, Subiraba, and Mei then threw Izuku. He used his levitation to grab all the headbands from the other teams. Izuku, got it. Bondo, is that allowed? Midnight, he didn't touch the ground, so he is not out. Izuku went back to his team, and they continued. As the cavalry battle went on, Bakugo was getting angrier and angrier. However, Shishida was able to gather a lot of headbands from other teams, but Bakugo didn't care. He wanted to be first. So he had Shishida throw him, and he zoomed towards the nearest team he could find. Unfortunately, that was Hitoshi's team. Bakugo managed to swipe Hitoshi's headband and used an explosion to launch himself back. However, he accidentally caused Hitoshi to fall off. And since it wasn't on purpose, Bakugo wasn't eliminated. Canonically, the rule is that using a quirk for the sole purpose of harming someone will cause them to be eliminated. So I believe that if it wasn't intentional, it won't lead to a disqualification. Sorry. Felt like I had to tell you all. Hitoshi, damn. Sorry team. I lost our headband and got knocked off. Now we're out of the game. Francisca would just smile. Francisca, it's okay. It's not like we can win them all. Hitoshi would blush at this. Hitoshi, I'm not stupid. I know I'm in love with her. I'll tell her sometime today. There is now 5 minutes left on the clock. Todoroki was able to freeze Kirby's team. But not before stealing his headband with Ida's help. Back with Bandy, his team was able to come up with a plan for Ellie. They would travel up high, wait for the path to disappear, and this would give Ellie enough time to make a new path before the team reaches the ground. Thankfully, the rainbow path is very soft, so they would feel no pain from falling. After 5 more minutes of continuing like this, midnight time's up, and just like that, the cavalry battle was over. And the teams moving on were Team Bandy, Team Izuku, Team Todoroki, Team Bakugo. Midnight, however, we have an uneven number of people. We need one more to join in. Who will? Francisca. I vote for Hitoshi. Hitoshi, me? But why? Francisca, you would always keep fighting until the bitter end. And you deserve to be able to show these heroes what your quirk can really do. Francisca would then hold his hands. Francisca, please, Hitoshi? Hitoshi, blush, alright. Miss Midnight? Midnight. Indeed. You are in the finals. Now before we get on with the finals, we shall have a series of fun games for everyone. Whether you have made it this far or not, everyone was psyched about this. But something was going to happen during these games. 2 somethings. Sports Festival Part 4, Break and Confrontation. Girls, Kaminari, you pervert. Kaminari, I swear I didn't do this. I swear on my life. What happened? Well, someone wrote a note to the girls explaining that they were supposed to wear cheerleader outfits. But it was false, and they assumed that Kaminari did this since he was a smidge perverted. Jiro, if you didn't do it, who did? Marks. Ha ho 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 ha ha. Oh man. I got you girls so good. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, the girls were giving him death stares. Marks, oh gee, look at the time. The girls ended up chasing after him, and when they caught him, they started to beat him up. Adeline, hey Izuku? Izuku, yeah? Adeline, how do I look? Izuku, blushes massively beautiful. Obviously. Adeline then hugged him. Adeline, thank you. Ribbon, hey Kirby? What do you think, Kirby? Blushing, why you look adorable and beautiful. It's just, wowie. Ribbon, blushing, ah Kirby. You sure know how to say the sweetest things. Ribbon then kisses Kirby, to which he becomes redder than a Maxim tomato. Sectonia, well, sweetie? What do you think? Taranza goes completely red. Okay. Somebody call heaven and TLK them, they're missing their goddess. Faints. Sectonia, teehee. How adorable. Setsuna, so Marksy boy. What do you think, Marks? She never learns, does she? Smirks and clears throat extra thick. Setsuna the goes as red as Taranza. Hitoshi blushes. Hey Francisca? Can I talk to you in private please? Francisca, sure thing. Flamberge noticed this, and was about to attack Hitoshi when Zon Partisan stopped her. Flamberge, HEY. Let me go. I just want to. Zon Partisan, keep your sister from being in a happy relationship? I've seen how Hitoshi acts. I know he can treat her well. Flamberge, I guess you make a good point. Alright. But if he dares hurt her, I'll burn him to a crisp. Zon Partisan, understandable. Gui, 21? Flamberge, you stupid. Bandy strange. Izumi isn't here. I wonder why. Maybe I should search the building to find her. Bandy then walks over to the building. We now join Meta Knight as he meets up with someone. Meta Knight, oh, Meta Knight. Meta Knight, Enji Todoroki. aka Endeavor. The two walk forward and shake each other's hands. Endeavor, nice to see you again, Meta Knight. How have you been lately, Meta Knight? Well, besides being attacked by villains a few weeks ago, I'd say, pretty good. Endeavor, yeah, I heard about that. Glad to see you're okay, Meta Knight. So, are you still adjusting to having been knocked down to the number 4 hero? Endeavor, nah. I'll admit, when you and that Galactonite fellow knocked me down to 4, I was really upset. But after you taught me what a hero should really do and why they exist in the first place, that made me realize that being knocked down to number 4 was a blessing in disguise. I've been sending flowers to Ray every day. I'm genuinely surprised that she didn't throw them in the trash. She actually forgives me. Weird, huh? Meta Knight, not quite. Endeavor, really? What do you mean? Meta Knight, anyone in the entire world can make a mistake. But it takes a true heart and plenty of courage to admit they made a mistake. That shows that you have truly changed. Endeavor, do you ever get tired of being so cool? Meta Knight, I do not intend to make myself cool. Endeavor, I know. Anyways, it appears that Shoto still resents my fire side. Not that I blame him. Not after what I did. Meta Knight, he does not resent your fire. He resents his. And he resents it because of what he did to Izuku. Endeavor, oh. Well, maybe this tournament will help him. I hope so. Otherwise, he won't be as great of a hero as you. Meta Knight, I hope so too. Endeavor, by the way, after this sports festival, I'm taking Ray out of the mental hospital. I know that she is better, and I'll make her feel like the wonderful person she truly is this time. With Hitoshi and Francisca. Hitoshi, Francisca, there is something I need to tell you. Francisca, what is it, Hitoshi? Hitoshi blushes. I'm in love with you. I've been in love with you ever since we met at the entrance exam. You're beautiful, cute, kind, cheerful, and supportive. I wanted to confess to you sometime today and figured that it was best to do it now. I understand if you don't like me, but Hitoshi was interrupted when Francisca came up to him and kissed him on the lips. Francisca blushes. I love you too, Hitoshi. I saw in your eyes that you have went through a lot, and yet despite that, you still have such a caring personality. I like guys who understand that even when bad things happen to us, as long as there are people who support you, everything will be okay. And you fit that description. On top of that, you also look quite cute and handsome at the same time. How could I not like a guy like you? Hitoshi, WL. I didn't know you felt that way about me. Francisca, well, I had no idea on how you felt about me. So, I guess this means we're a thing now. As the two leaned in for another kiss. You what? Francisca, what was that? Hitoshi, I don't know, but it sounded bad. We now go to where a certain blonde asshole is. Izumi, I gave up one for all. That quirk was draining my life force. I had to give it up. Inko, seriously? You would have died? Oh, thank goodness you gave it up. Almight, and oh. No, thank goodness. Izumi shouldn't have given it up. I can't believe you, Izumi. What? Did you give it to some quirkless moron? Izumi, I had to. If One for All is passed down to someone who already has a quirk, their life force will be drained away. And you were quirkless before my grandma gave it to you. Stop being such a hypocrite, Inko. She's right, Yagi. That thinking was what costed us Izuku. If Hisashi was still alive, he would kill us both. And that would be fine with me. You and I deserve to burn in hell, Almight. In that case, I'll make you wish you died with him. Almight was about to beat them up brutally, but his arm was stabbed by a spear. Almight, Bandy, what the buck is your problem? You are without a doubt the dumbest, worst, fakest hero I have ever seen. Attacking your wife and daughter like that? Get your ass out of here. Or else, Almight, I'll deal with you later. I have no time for this. As Almight left, Izumi ran up to Bandy and hugged him like her life depended on it, which it basically did. She was also crying nonstop. Inko saw this and was feeling very sorry for her daughter right now. And then, Izuku, hey mom. Inko, Izuku. Izuku then held his arms out. Izuku, come here. Inko ran to Izuku and gave him a bear hug and crying a waterfall of tears. It hurt Izuku, but it didn't matter right now. Izuku, don't worry mom. The Star Allies are here to help. Go to DDD and Deroche. They will take you to my ship. You'll be safe there. I promise. Inko, WY? Sniff, why are you helping me? After what I did to you. The beatings, the neglect, why do you choose to help me? Izuku, because I can see that you are hurting. I know you are a stress eater. And you seem to have gained a bit of weight. This proves to me that you are feeling very guilty for what happened. You deserve a second chance. I saw how you went against Almight. That's enough proof for me on its own as well. Now get to DDD and Deroche. Tell them that I sent you to get their help. That's all they'll need to hear. Inko, thank you, Izuku. Izuku, it's my friends who should be thanked. I don't know what I would do if it weren't for them. Now go. Before he comes back. Inko then released Izuku and ran towards the stands where DDD and Deroche were. Midnight, alright. The games are over. It's time for the first round of the tournament. Izuku, let's go you guys. Bandy and Izumi. High/H. Sports Festival Part 5, First Round. Present Mike. In the right corner, we have a flying paintbrush that can make plenty of platforms. I am the left corner. We have a boy with an incredible amount of power. This is our first match. Eline versus Izuku. Izuku, good luck Eline. Eline, you too Izuku. Midnight begin. Eline would paint the ground to try and get Izuku to slip, but thanks to his levitation, it was no problem to avoid. Eline wanted to do something, but unfortunately, her quirk was not suited for battle. Unlike Adeline, she can't make everything she paints come to life. Izuku, Revolution Flames. Eline was hit and sent out of bounds, giving Izuku the win. Present Mike. Well, that was a bit boring. Slap OW. What was that for? DMK, what you said was incredibly rude. Think of how you would feel in this situation. Her quirk isn't suited for battle, so there wasn't much she could do. No need to make her feel useless about it. Present Mike, oh sorry. The next match was Todoroki versus Kaibara. The battle ended pretty quickly. Todoroki froze half of the battlefield in anger with himself. Todoroki, sorry, I was frustrated with myself. Up next was Hitoshi versus Suzy. Hitoshi, are you ready Suzy? Suzy, indeed I am. Midnight, begin. Hitoshi, you gonna use that blaster of yours? Suzy nodded and started blasting him. Hitoshi, drat. She clearly knows that I can't use my quirk on her unless she speaks to me. Lucky I've got some combat training. Hitoshi would rush towards Suzy to try and knock her out of bounds. But Suzy was prepared for that and brought in her business suit. Hey! She can't do that. That's DMK. If one of the competitors is quirkless, then it's allowed. Oh. Sorry. Hitoshi couldn't do anything against that business suit of hers. Hitoshi, I gotta admit, that's a pretty cool invention. Your father must be rather proud of you. However, Hitoshi didn't know this, but he talked about something very tragic. Suzy, what would you know about my late father? Then Suzy got brainwashed. But Hitoshi's eyes widened. Hitoshi, late? What do you mean by late? Suzy couldn't answer. Present Mike, looks like Suzy can't move. That brainwashing quirk of Hitoshi's is really something, huh? DMK, true. But the look on his face tells me that he said something tragic about her life by complete accident. Hitoshi, I could easily force her out of the ring. But no. Not like this. That's a dirty way to win. There is only one thing to do. Hitoshi then walks out of bounds. Present mic, HUH? Why did Hitoshi walk out of bounds? DMK, because he said something that hurts Suzy. And he doesn't want to win that way. He'd rather lose with honor than win in a horrible way. This shows just how much of a good person Hitoshi truly is. As he said that, everyone started clapping for Hitoshi, who did the honorable thing. Suzy was then snapped out of her brainwashing. Hitoshi, Suzy. I'm sorry for what I said. I didn't know your father was gone. Suzy, it's all right. I understand your concern. I was just still grieving a bit about him. I appreciate you doing the right thing. They then shake hands and leave the area. Up next was Yaoyorozu versus Kendo. The fight was pretty even, but Kendo was eventually pushed out of bounds by Yaoyorozu using her staff, which she created. Then came Mei versus Ida. The fight went on the same as canon. Suzy, geez, sis. You shouldn't have done that to poor Ida. After that was Izumi versus Shishida. It was tough, but thanks to Izumi's telekinesis quirk, Shishida was thrown out of bounds. Then was Bandy versus Tsubiraba. Tsubiraba tried to trap Bandy in an air prison, but he managed to break through and pushed Tsubiraba out of bounds with his nutty noon bash. Finally, it was Bakugo versus Taranza. The fight was unfortunately rather quick. Taranza tried to trap Bakugo in his webs, but those webs quickly burned up and it didn't take long for Taranza to get attacked with an explosion at point-blank range, and knocked out of bounds. Midnight. And just like that, the first round matches are over. Now, it's time to move on to the second round. Sports Festival Part 6. Second round. We start off this round with Izuku and Todoroki facing each other. Midnight, begin. Todoroki shot ice at Izuku. Izuku, revolution flames. Izuku shot out flames which destroyed the ice. This would cause Todoroki to try again, only to get the same result. Izuku, what's with you, Todoroki? Ever since I ended up seeing you again, you've only used your ice side. Where's your fire? Todoroki, I refuse to hurt anyone with my fire again. Not after what I did to you. He shot out more ice. Izuku, Magolor surge. Izuku charged at the ice and broke it with ease. Izuku, I thought you were trying to be a hero. How can you possibly be a hero if you only use half of your power? Todoroki, shut up. I can't. I won't. Not after all the burns I gave to you. More ice. Magolor, magic bombs. The bombs blew up the ice. Izuku, stop acting like this. I don't want my friend to continue to deal with all this mental pain. Those words made Todoroki stop. Todoroki, why you still see me as a friend? Izuku, yes. I do. I've forgiven you for all that has happened. So I want you to forgive yourself. Todoroki felt like he was going to cry. Even after all that he did, Izuku, the boy who he bullied for years, still sees him as a friend? Those words was what Todoroki needed, so he started to use his fire. Todoroki, I've known you long enough to know when you are lying. You are not lying. I'll do it. I'll forgive myself and become the hero that you want me to be. Izuku, I knew I could get through to you. Now let's give these people one final attack done by us. What do you say, Todoroki? Let's go beyond. Plus Ultra. Todoroki shot out a huge amount of flames at Izuku. Izuku, Magolor cannon. The two attacks clashed, causing a massive explosion. When the smoke cleared, Todoroki was out of bounds, but with a smile on his face. The winner of the first match was Izuku. But it wasn't a complete loss for Todoroki. Endeavor, I'm proud of them. Both of them. Meta Knight, as am I. We now move on to the second round, Suzy versus Yaoyorozu. Yaoyorozu unfortunately wasn't able to do much. The problem was that Suzy's business suit was incredibly sturdy. She couldn't make anything to even dent it. So it didn't take long for Yaoyorozu to lose. Suzy, you shouldn't put yourself down, Yaoyorozu. You have great potential. You were just caught up in a classic case of a bad matchup. Yaoyorozu, and to think, I used to say that quirkless people are worthless. I will never make a horrible mistake like that ever again. We move on to Izumi versus Ida. Ida was easily thrown out of the ring though. Now for the final match, Bandy versus Bakugo. Midnight, begin. Bakugo charged in like a rabid animal. Bakugo, die. Bandy narrowly dodged. He had a hard time fighting without his spear. He has a quirk, yes, but using it will just break his limbs. So he has to be careful. Bakugo then sends out another explosion. Bandy, nutty noon bash. Bakugo was hit with a lot of air pressure, but he quickly adjusted himself and started to repeatedly blow Bandy up with explosions. Bandy, ga! Alright. You asked for it. Cookie Country Bash. Bandy managed to punch Bakugo, but the damage wasn't as big as it was supposed to be. Bandy, what? What happened? Wait. I'm not in pain. He looks at his arm to find it not broken. Unfortunately, he was distracted long enough by this for Bakugo to release his howitzer impact and knock Bandy out of the arena, giving Bakugo the win. But a part of Bandy wanted him to win, so that if he fights Izuku, Bakugo will be knocked down a peg. Sports Festival Part 7 3rd Round. It's time for the 3rd round. First up, Izuku vs. Suzy. Izuku, good luck Suzy. Suzy, you too Izuku. Midnight, begin. Izuku, Magolor Surge. Izuku charged at Suzy, who got in her business suit and charged forward. Both attacks landed against each other as a massive shockwave appeared. Suzy, you certainly have gotten used to your magic. Izuku, thanks. You're no slouch yourself. Double Deadly Needle. 2 needles popped out of the ground and impaled the business suit's arms, keeping them from moving. Suzy, stopping the arms. Good strategy. Luckily, I have an attack for long range. Suzy's business suit shot out the 2 spikes that would then hit Izuku. Izuku, ga! That hurt. Magic spheres. Izuku shot out many magic spheres. Even though he could only use 3 at a time, he could still use plenty of them. Suzy, who had managed to get the arms freed from the double deadly needles, spun them around and destroyed the magic spheres. However, Izuku was nowhere to be found. Until Izuku, surprise! Magic bomb! Izuku had used his dimensional vanishing to appear right in front of her, and put a bomb in the cockpit. This forced Suzy to abort the business suit. Izuku, black hole. Izuku summoned a black hole to suck in the business suit. Where did it go? Well, it's at the lore. Izuku, looks like it's gonna be difficult to fight without your business suit. Suzy, well played. But I still have my blaster. She then shot a few blasts. Izuku, yeah? And I have a magic barrier. He put up his magic barrier and blocked the shots. Suzy, oh yeah, crud. Izuku, Magolor Surge. Izuku charged at Suzy, and before she could react, she was hit and flew out of bounds. Midnight, the winner is Izuku. Suzy, good job Izuku. Make sure to win it all. Izuku, you got it. Now we move on to Bakugo vs. Izumi. Midnight, begin. Bakugo started by using a right hook, like always. Only for Izumi to dodge. Izumi, you know, you always do this Bakugo. You always start with a right hook. You are so predictable. Bakugo, shut up, bitch. Bakugo then propelled himself with his explosions and released another one in her face. Izumi was knocked back but kept her ground while using her telekinesis to try and send Bakugo out of the arena. But Bakugo had other plans and continued to propel himself upwards and then launch himself downwards and released an explosion so powerful that half of the arena was destroyed. And Izumi was knocked out unconscious. Bakugo wanted to do worse to her, but Izuku showed up, grabbed Izumi, and took her to DDD. DDD, she did well. It's all up to you Izuku. Daroche, show the arrogant prick who's boss. Izuku, hi. Sports Festival Part 8. Final round and award ceremony. It was finally time for the final round. Izuku vs. Bakugo. Both sides were ready to end this sports festival and make a point to each other. One to prove that he's the strongest, and one to prove he's not worthless. Midnight, begin. Bakugo, I'm gonna kill you. And then your shitty friends, you quirkless bastard. Bakugo then propels himself forward to Izuku, not knowing that he had just made a horrible mistake. Bakugo, die. Izuku pulls up his magic barrier and blocks the explosion. But he now has an angry look on his face. Izuku, now I'm mad. Never insult my friends. Izuku attacks with a bunch of magic spheres and knocks Bakugo back. Bakugo, die. Izuku, magic barrier. Izuku put up a magic barrier and tried to block the explosion. But Bakugo changed his trajectory and launched himself over Izuku and blasted into his back, which wasn't covered by the magic barrier. Izuku, gra. Damn. Magolor Surge. Izuku charges at Bakugo and lands a hit on him, nearly sending him out of bounds. But he adjusted himself like with Izumi. Bakugo, you'll never beat me you quirkless wannabe. Izuku, Revolution Flames. He launched the flames at point-blank Ranger and hits Bakugo. Bakugo screamed in pain and grabbed Izuku's face and released a bunch of explosions. Izuku, AAGH. Bakugo, now do you understand why you're nothing? You worthless DKU? Izuku, that's IT. I'm done holding back. Magolor Cannon. Izuku then blasts Bakugo at point-blank range. Bakugo, AAAGGGGGGGH. What the he? He couldn't bring himself to finish his sentence because Izuku was giving him the most frightening death stare that I cannot show for legal purposes. Totally not because I'm too lazy to find an image. Izuku, I can't believe I spent so many years coping with the pain of being treated like trash and being rejected by society. I'm sick and tired of people like you. If only you were quirkless. Maybe then we would still be friends. I can't stand it anymore. So Bakugo, behold the powers that are under my control. Izuku then charged up all his magic into one final attack. Izuku, eat this final attack. Izuku, Monster Flame. Bakugo could only stand and watch out of fear as the attack hit him dead on, causing the arena to explode. When the smoke cleared, Bakugo was knocked out. Izuku lied about not holding back. He held back a lot because he still didn't want to kill him. What he didn't know, however, was that that final attack he did had finally caused Bakugo to realize something. He was not as strong as he believed. He could never hope to make an attack that powerful. But most importantly, he realized that he had lost. And had to accept it. Midnight. Bakugo is out of bounds and unconscious. Izuku wins. Everyone cheered him for such a good show, and Izuku felt relieved to have won against his main tormentor. He was happy to have released all the hatred he had kept inside and was ready for anything to come. Now let's go to the award ceremony. Midnight. Due to some family issues, Izumi could not be here. But we still have Izuku, Bakugo, and Suzy. Izuku was smiling, Suzy was tinkering with some gadgets, and Bakugo was completely silent. Midnight. And the one to bring in the medals is Meta Knight. Meta Knight. Hello everyone. You all worked so hard today. Use this experience to learn a few things. Suzy. You showed great strategy with your opponents. But remember, it takes more than brains to win. Here is your medal. Bakugo. While I don't agree with your ideals, I will admit that you do indeed have incredible strength, as well as a strategic mind. However, it was your temper that cost the match. When you are filled with hatred, you lose sight of your goal. And that will lead to you not only harming the innocent, but yourself as well. Remember that. Here is your medal. And don't forget, this is only the start of the school year. There is still plenty of room to grow. And Izuku, you have impressed everyone with your incredible abilities and analytic mind. But never lose sight of your true goal. Take that to heart. Here is your medal. Everyone in the stands were in awe about Meta Knight's wisdom as well as being unbiased. Random guy, hey. How come he is only the number 2 hero? Random girl, no clue. Maybe it will change one day. Whispers I've heard about some bad things Almight did. He needs to learn a thing or two one day. Meta Knight, and with that, the sports festival is over. So everyone, it's like we always say at this school. Go beyond. Everyone, plus ultra. And with that, the sports festival came to an end. Everyone went back home, and when the Star Allies arrived back at the lore, they saw Eri, Inko, and Izumi playing Uno together. Things were going great. Meanwhile, All for One, so, Izuku won the sports festival. I knew he could do it, Nana, as did I. I wonder what else awaits for him. All for One, whatever it is, he will only get stronger. And it appears that my brother's quirk is now in the possession of someone who is pure of heart. More so than that blonde buffoon. Nana, that's good. Do you think he'll be able to defeat Shigaraki? All for One, of course. But I know that he won't be alone. Izuku and his friends will always have his back. Shigaraki, your days are numbered.
Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.